in charge of corporate services at the Kenya Copyright Board. And we are here. This is count number 13. Since we began this journey, sometimes back in Nyeri, this marks number 13. If we just tweaked a bit, it would have equalized with the count number 12. But Washingishu took that number the other day. So you are number 13 in this program. And why are we here? That is the question that maybe we need to answer. You may be asking, why is Kecobo in Meru today? Who can guess why we are here? Anyone who can guess? Yes, there is a gentleman who is smiling there. He has the answer. Give him the mic. He knows why we are here. There's a gentleman here in the second table there.
Praise God.
Amen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think you are here because you want to sharpen our talent, to make sure we market our music in a good way, and we earn the salary or the resources and the benefit from our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Makofi kwake. Any other? Kuna mwingine pale? Inua mkono uonekane.
Morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. Thank you, boss, my boss. And let me just say it is because of the part that is called intellectual property rights. And whatever you produce, whatever you chenye unabuni kwa akili yako inafaa kuwa copyrighted, inaweza kuwa patented, inaweza kuwa something, royalties. Hizi ni vitu familia yako inaweza kula for a long time. So it is because of the intellectual property rights.
Thank you very much. The last one? Any last one from a lady now? Lady is in the house. Situjitetee tafadhali. What a man can do? There's one here. Ako hapa mbele. Yes, the mic is yours.
Hello.
Hello.
I think we are here to mentor artists and to show them the right way to do their work and how they can earn from their work and how they can protect their work from other artists as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that confirms what a man can do. She has just summarized our essence, our being here. That is basically why we are here. Because basically what we are going to talk about, our legal team will take you through what the law provides about copyright, okay? And later they'll take you through how you can be able to make money out of your ideas, your copyright works. And later, our finance gurus will take you through how you can be able to manage the money that you make out of your work. So essentially, that is why we are here, to bring the knowledge to you. Once you get the knowledge, you take it out there, use it for your benefit. And once you use it for your benefit, the proceeds that you get out of your work, then you utilize them in a prudent manner. That is basically why we are here. And just as a summary, without taking much time, basically, there's a question we keep on asking. As we sit here today, how many of us earn enough out of what they do to put bread on their table? Kwa mikono juu tuonyeshane, ambaye leo whatever you do, you are able to make money enough to feed your family, to do all your basic, or to meet all your basic needs. Is there anyone here? Naona mikono mbili, tatu, nne. So maybe we may be able to ask them, because I don't have much time, and ask them what they do. They may be able to explain to us how they can be able to do that. And we want, as we live here today, to convert many into that category, so that you can be able to make money and make enough money to be able to meet your basic needs and even beyond. And that potential is there. That possibility is there. You only need to do this. You need to strategize. And by strategizing, it means you understand what you do. Okay? Where you can not walk alone, you need to walk with others. So networking is important. And that networking involves working with Kecobo as an organization. Working with the legal teams in Kecobo to be able to be guided. When you enter into a contract, then what is it that you need to know so that you can be able to avoid situations that will risk your sweat, okay? And the other thing, and the important thing, is you need definitely to be disciplined as a person, so that you know there's a difference between, there's a term known as income, okay? So when you are making your money, you need to realize that as you make your money, that money comes in to be able to fulfill the needs of today, not forgetting that there is tomorrow. And therefore, as the gurus of finance will come before here, they will break it for you and tell you, when you get that income has to be divided into present consumption and definitely future consumption. And you have to balance that math in terms of what is it that you are expending today in terms of expenses, but what is it that you are putting aside in terms of savings, accumulating income for the future needs. And therefore, that savings going into investment to be able to take care of the future consumption. And therefore, that way you will have been able to manage your finances in a manner that is sustainable, in terms of you will be able to meet the needs today, but equally meet the needs tomorrow. Without wasting much time, I wish to welcome my colleague, Madam Sharon, to speak to you. And as I pointed out, please continue tweeting, meet us in TikTok and the other copyright social media handles that are there. And baadaye unaweza jipatia zawadi. Wangapi wanataka zawadi hapa? Ni wengi wale wanataka zawadi, lakini swali ni wangapi wametweet kwa wakati huu? Wangapi wametufollow kwa wakati huu? So tutajua hayo baadaye. By the end of this program, definitely, Sharon, please come. Definitely, I may continue talking if you don't come. Definitely, you will get your zawadi, and it may be something wonderful. You may have your credit for the next 40 days of the remaining part of the year. Sawa sawa. Karibu sana Sharon. Makofi kwangu.
Let's give a clap to him. Ai, hivyo ndio wasanii wa Meru mko? Oh, that's better, that's better. Okay, for purposes of this meeting, makofi yangu haitakuwa hii sisikii. Sawa? Yangu itakuwa hiyo kabisa. Sawa? Naambiwa kuna wasanii wanataka kunikaribisha Meru. Wako wapi? Ati wanaitwa? Roriti. Aya, kujeni munikaribishe ndio niongee. For now nimekataa kuongea.
Ni ajeni. Mimi naitwa Ronnie T. Mimi ni artist kutoka hapa hivi Meru. Niko na ngoma inaitwa Welcome to Meru. Welcome to Meru ina talk about vitu different parts za Meru si udu na vitu si ugrow, yani wasanii wa Meru unacheki, na iko na vida, sijui kama vida itacheza, iko na video na nasikia fiti kuku hapa juu kama hiyo vida yangu nilitumia do, wallahi si wadanganyi. Huyu tulishoot na MC Stugi na sijai get anything manzi, na ni do mob juu nilishutia Meru kutoka mahali imeanzia mpaka mahali imeishia. So mtaisikiza msikie vile iko fiti sana, ina do fiti YouTube, iko na 78 I think K views, ni ya Kimeru. Si DJ
Isn't music.
Osimo Kantonyere na Kemero Ghetto. Welcome to Meru, counting opportunities, to not believe in our hustle and your prosperity. This is the home to Mount Kenya, so we're just so cool. Home to Mount Kenya, so we're just so cool. So we met in Magamarigo, settlement in a boy wife material. No, the Meti is the heart of Meru. Tigania some hard-working people. And to the game and the farm, the green gold, and the river board, and the flint the nation. And to Meru in Abore. Inabore, Queen, Eze Meru, Yeto, 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 Eze Meru, Kakoromoni na otwenda yito vieto, Utindwa, June izoeto, Aibuize muguta no izoeto, Getembene igieto, Kaga na katimene igweto, Kayakine kubokyo yo iwantu veto, Kantu bocho na dero gaiti igweto, Kaelo lare na mutua ke igweto, Mawa yeto, Mekindori chero meatene yeto, Timao keberecha nari igweto, nari igweto, Queen, Eze Meru, Yeto, 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 Eze Meru. Baugira Meru tutumba kwina ibao, nandende asante menyanka ina zao, Aibuize asaniba Meru ibao. Morega, Baichui weto, Kamano, Toito Mwari weto, Sav, Msani weto, Kofi Machete na Nazizu ibeto, Karimi, Kuruno ikada yeto, Singoela Mareki Nyabo ibeto, Roniti wenu, Aibuize DJ Bamero ibao, Voke Stapoya le Kings ibeto, Kalonje Joe, Falme ibeto, DJ Skylet na Tushi ibeto, MC Leimona Mananga ibeto, just by MC Stugi Aipanta, Eze Meru, Yeto, 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 Eze Meru, Yeto.
Hiyo ni kali, si ndio? Hiyo ni kali sana. Thank you. We feel welcome now. Sasa tumetulia, tunasikia at home, we feel at home. Good morning wasanii wa Meru. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Meru mnaendanga kanisa? Mnajua mimi ni Muhonoki. So lazima tusalimiane hivyo, si ndio? We thank God for the gift of life and for allowing us to be here this morning. Majina yangu ni Sharon Wata. Mimi ni wakili wa IP. Nisikia msanii mmoja akituambia tuko hapa kwa sababu ya mambo ya intellectual properties, ndio? I'm the Deputy Director in charge of training and research at Kenya Copyright Board. We are happy to be here. I have seen nimesahau jina yako. Ule alikuwa na tu hype. Si tulikuwa na wewe kwa training ya culture. Nani mwingine alikuwa? Yep. Oh yes. I'm happy to see you But today I'm here with Kenya Copyright Board. Hiyo siku niliwaambia juu ya copyright board, si ndio? Nilisema aje? Copyright board ni nani? Mumesahau? Nimesema tumetoka Kenya Copyright Board. Kenya Copyright Board is a state corporation. Ni shirika la serikali. Wajaluo wanasema sisi ndio serikali. Sisi ndio serikali, si ndio? Mambo ya copyright ni sisi. We have been charged with the mandate ya administration and enforcement of copyright. Nikisema administration of copyright, some of the functions that we do ni kwamba we work on the law, we make sure Copyright Act iko sawa, if it needs to be amended ni sisi ndio tunafanya hiyo kazi. We advise the government on all the matters copyright na international treaties ambazo they are supposed to sign that are good for Kenya. And we make sure the treaties are signed. Okay? Another function, we do training. We train everybody, the public in general, wasanii, we train even universities, schools, anybody who needs training, we will provide the training for free. Kuna mtu amelipa kukuja hapa leo? Kuna mtu amelipa? No. So we do that training for free. You only need to organize yourself and ask that we come and train you, we will come and train you. Kazi ingine tunafanya registration of copyright. Kama hiyo wimbo yako, ulisema unaitwa? Wewe unaitwaje? Ronnie. Ronnie T. Ronnie, you need to register that song for copyright if you have not. What does that mean? You will get a certificate saying that you are the owner. So that if anybody tries to infringe, it is very easy for you to prove ownership. Ukinunua gari unapewa logbook. Ukinunua shamba ya miraa ukinunua unapewa nini? Title. So hata hiyo wimbo, you need to get a certificate. So leo unatoka hapa na certificate, si ndio? Si ndio? That's nice. So we do copyright registration and now we are doing it for free. Hatucharge hata, tulikuwa tunacharge, so sahi it's free. Kwa hivyo we have our IT people here. Kuna jamaa anajiita Edwin Mshila. Ako mahali hapa nje. Ako somewhere na t-shirt kama hii. Ako hapa to help you if you want to register your copyright. Okay? So leo whoever has any work that you have done. Ule boy wetu wa poem, nimependa poem yako ukidediketia wa mama. Because I'm a mother. I was just imagining my son ameniandikia poem kama hiyo bana. Ukasikia nimebambika sana. Hiyo poem, you can register it today for copyright. Sawa? Yes, you just need to have it in PDF format. Utasaidika uweke kwa mtandao and you get your copyright certificate. Another work yenye tunafanya, another function, inaitwa enforcement. Ukisikia mtu ameiba kazi yako, you can report to us. Tutakuelekeza how to do it, how to go about it. You have two options. You can follow it as a criminal matter or as a civil matter. We would advise you to do that. So you need to just come and report to us na tutakusaidia. But pia, just as the courts are doing now, they are embracing alternative means of dispute resolution. Pia sisi tunasaidia na hiyo. Kama uko na msanii ambaye unasikia ameiba wimbo yako ama there's an issue, you can come to us. Tunafanya mediation. Tutawakalisha chini. iko sawa. Free legal advice. us a bit about how do you manage these finances that we get. It's not big and comprehensive. It's just a bit to talk to us about the basics. But I want us to pick something from there. Because even me, every time I've sat down to listen to these guys, I pick something. Hata mi na hii miaka yangu yote, I still learn, I still pick something. So leo, wasanii tusikizane. We will pick something, sindio? From copyright session, from how to make money, from financial management. Tutachukua kitu, sindio? At the end of the session, I will ask us to tell me, what have you picked today? So be keen. I also forgot to tell you I'm a teacher at the university, the University School of Law. So I ask questions. So nitawauliza maswali. Ndawapea exam. Ka exam kadogo. Na wezi jua mtu anaweza ponyoka na gift. Sawa? Aya, ampendi gift. Ampendi gift. So that is about Faidika na Sanaa Yako, this program. So leo imekuja Meru. Wasanii wa Meru, let's take advantage of it, okay? We are expecting somebody from the county, maybe akifika, he will give some remarks. Kinyungu, where are you? You let me know, mtu wa county akifika, then they'll give some remarks. We also want to send greetings from Kenya Copyright Board, our board of directors, but also our acting executive director, Mr. Nyakweba. He's not yet here, but he'll come. So akitupata tukiendelea, sawa, he'll greet you and say something. Asipotupata leo, just receive greetings from them. So I want us to sit and engage, okay? By the way, watu wetu wa mitambo, you will play for us a snapshot of what happened in other counties. Wacha tu hyper wase wa Meru. Tusitoke hapa kama tumeboeka. Play for them the clips of what happened in other counties. Waone tu. We are blending this learning with entertainment. It is also your day. If you have an opportunity, showcase what you have. On that note, mume subscribe kwa YouTube ya Ronnie. Ronnie, YouTube yako inaitwaje? Hata mimi nataka kusubscribe sasa. What is it called? That is how we support each other, wasanii, okay? If all of you subscribed today, he has gained 100 people. Sindio? Yeah. YouTube yako inaitwa?
YouTube yangu ni RONI
TEE.
Kuna videos mbili hapo, mlike, msubscribe. Pia TikTok na all platforms ni hivyo tu, RONI TEE.
Hata kama ni nyimbo ya Kimeru, nita subscribe tu na Lucian, tuko wapi kwingine? Facebook, TikTok. TikTok naona majenzi hapa. TikTok, please go to our page and subscribe. X, Facebook. I want you to do that now as we are talking. As we are talking, let's do that. Let's also tweet. What Mr. Mutuku did not explain nicely. You know, he goes to the pages and angalianga who has tweeted the most, who has been very active, and at the end, he will give you airtime. So be active, be active. Tweet, retweet, repost, redo whatever needs to be done. Utapata ka airtime, kata kupush siku kadhaa, si ndio? On that note, I am glad Mr. Hireri is here. Hata hujatulia. Nilikuwa nimesema ukiingia utatusalimia, utufungulie mkutano, tuendelee. So najua hujatulia sana, but I want you to do that so that we can start right on time. Karibu sana. Makofi kwake.
Good morning. Hamjambo. Sharon has surprised me. I do not even know the protocol here. So I'll start with all protocols observed. As you've been told, my name is Ereri David. I'm the Acting County Director of Culture and Arts, County Government of Meru. I'm glad that you are here to begin with, especially Copyright Board of Kenya, for seeing it in your right to favor Meru with this training among so many counties. First of all, the county government of Meru, which I'm representing here, is also very, very grateful. And we look forward to future cooperations with you, especially for the benefit of our artists who are generally youth. And remember our governor, our new governor is very passionate about the arts. And in his inaugural speech, he talked about you people ought to come up with an anthem for the county. So with that initial proclamation of the governor, it's now in your hands that you start thinking about that. Come to us, give us ideas on how to go about it, then we can move forward. I do not have to say much because we need to learn. So mine is to welcome Kecobo to Meru and our artists in general. We are together, and going forward, I believe our new government is going to empower us so that we develop you more. We look forward, as I said, to much, much more cooperation with you. Thank you very much.
Kaunti yenyu wamekuja na hiyo ndio mnapiga makofi. Mukiona the director of culture here, that means that you have the support of your county. Na umesikia vile amesema, governor invited you to make an anthem for the county. That's an opportunity, guys, that musicians should have mkimbie nayo haraka. You make an anthem for your county because you're creative. God has already put that in you and you're able to do that and more. So mumesikia hiyo, mkimbie nayo kabisa. Thank you, Mr. Ireri, for the support from the county for your people. So right now I want us to jump right into the training. We are going to hear from Mr. Kaindo. Mr. Paul Kaindo is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, but I'm his senior, so wacha nimuintroduce. Unajua in court, the seniors speak before the juniors. He is an IP lawyer. He has a master's in intellectual property law. He also teaches in several institutions. He does many things. He even does, he can practice law. He has been a copyright prosecutor. Simone hivyo ni mfupi lakini dynamite. So let's welcome Mr. Kaindo na makofi mazuri ya Meru.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. What you forgot to say, you are my senior. It is, it is professional misconduct for me to have to pay for my own lunch when you are around as my senior. So today I'm covered. Those who will be my friends today will get lunch from Madam Sharon, who is my senior. Thank you for that befitting introduction. So nitaruka tu directly to my presentation. Na sitarudia jina yangu, jina langu liko hapo. So the idea is to have you understand issues intellectual property. And I realize we have a lot of creatives here, and I'm glad we have visual artists. Kuna mmoja ameniambia he draws, so I've asked him if possible he can come with the drawings so that we can use them as an example. Now, of course, mmesikia copyright, but I'm sure mna wonder what is copyright per se. I'm sure most of you mnajua copyright, and I think somebody did respond with a very good response to that. But what we need to understand ni ati copyright ni part ya intellectual property. Intellectual property, everybody knows property ni nini? Ni mali. Anything that you can own that has value, hiyo ni property. So property itaweza kuwa either tangible property or intangible property. Tangible property ni kama hiyo simu uko nayo, si ni kitu utaweza guza? Si uko na gari ni kitu utaweza ona na udrive? Shamba uko na title deed. Then kuna intangible properties. Kuna watu hapa wako na shares in companies. Huwezi guza shares useme hizi shares ndizo zangu. Kuna watu wako na stocks in companies. Those are not tangible. They are intangible assets. Then we have intellectual property. Intellectual property ni intangible. So intellectual property inamaanisha property that has value but that cannot be touched. Hauwezi guza but iko na value. Hizo shares ziko na value but huwezi guza. Huwezi sema ati nimebeba shares zangu za kampuni fulani. You can't. But it has value. So intellectual property is that intangible aspect. And there are two types of intellectual property, and they result from creations of the mind. Any property or anything that any idea that you create that in itself iko na value ni property na ziko mara mbili. So they come from human inventions, from the intellect of the mind. Ziko mara mbili. Kuna industrial property. Na industrial property ni that intangible property yenye itaweza kuwa, of course I've said it is intangible, it is a creation of the mind, but it protects the idea itself. Examples include patents. I don't know whether they include things like patents. Patent, nimesikia watu wengi wakisema niko na wimbo nataka kupatent. You can't patent that. Na nita explain kwa nini. Because for songs and all those kind of creations, you do copyright protection. But for a patent, ni your creation that is original, it is new or novel, it has never existed, and it solves a technical problem. Kama sijui kama mliona kuna some Zimbabwean, I don't know if it is Zimbabwe, I think it is Zimbabwe, who created a car that doesn't use, I don't know how it is created, doesn't use any force, any energy, doesn't use fuel, has a battery or something like that. But it is a new invention. But for him, he has opted to protect that as a trade secret. But in a qualify kuwa a patent. So a patent is that industrial innovation that seeks to solve a technical problem. Assume hakuna dawa ya cancer, assuming. Then you come up na hiyo dawa ya cancer. It has never existed before. It is new and it solves a technical problem. That is a patent. Na ina protect the idea. Hata ukitoa hiyo dawa to the market, nobody can make a similar medicine because you have protection over it. Another one is what we call trademark, and I want to dwell into this kidogo. Trademark is that sign or logo or a combination of words or logos yenye identify your good or service as belonging to you. Kuna, what example can I use? All of you know Safaricom. So wherever you buy scratch card for Safaricom, iko na hiyo logo ya Safaricom. So that logo ya Safaricom identifies that scratch card or that good as belonging to Safaricom. Then we have service. Tumesikia kuna watu wanatumia stage names, Ronnie T. So you can trademark that name. And once you trademark, una prevent anybody else from using that trademark or a similar trademark yenye itaweza confuse to kutengeneza content or even branding. Kama hiyo t-shirt yako inafaa ukumeandika that logo of yours, and you are the only one who can even merchandise that clothing. Kuna mtu atakuja Madam Sharon will talk about commercialization. How can you make money out of your creativity? One of them is by merchandising, or once you have protected as a trade name your stage name. So easy trademarks, it is not Kecobo that protects them. Zinakuwa registered at KIPI, Kenya Industrial Property Institute. Mnajua KIPI? Somebody who knows KIPI? Mtu nataka kuwa rafiki yangu tukule lunch? Nobody? Asante Sharon, they are saving you costs. So KIPI, Kenya Industrial Property Institute, ina register or protect industrial property such as patents, such as trade names. So or trademarks, kama unataka kuprotect your stage name such that hakuna mtu mwingine ataweza itumia, then unaweza register through KIPI, Kenya Industrial Property Institute, not Kecobo. And we have seen a lot of people making money. Remember Bazoo by Willis Raburo? He had trademarked the name Bazoo. Then one of the telcos protected it. So it is very important if you want to commercialize your trade name or your stage name, register with Kenya Industrial Property as a trademark, as it is. So the other one I've mentioned, trade secrets is another kind of industrial property which may not be really necessary here, but people who when wanatengeneza software wana protecting that through trade secrets. Trade secrets ni ile unasema huta disclose your creativity ili watu wasijue venye imetengenezwa. Kama softwares, si kuna kuanga na source code. Source code is a combination of numbers. So unless nione ni copy, I cannot know. So most of them don't disclose that. They wanasema they are not going to disclose for as a protective measure. Lakini tutaona softwares are also protected under copyright. So there are other kinds of industrial property, but I want to jump directly to copyright. While I said that industrial property protects the inventions zenye zina apply kwa industry and commerce, vitu kama machines, vitu kama medicines and similar kind of things, copyright protects the original creations of the mind, such as hizo unaona zimeandikwa hapa, like literary works, musical works and the like, as soon as they are expressed. So copyright, remember niliwaambia industrial property ina protect the idea. Hiyo idea, umetengeneza dawa, when wewe umejua venye imetengenezwa, that idea is protected. Hakuna mtu mwingine ataweza fanya hivyo. But for copyright protects the expression, venye umeexpress hiyo idea. Kama uko na song, you want to sing a song about Job, the biblical Job, you can create your own song about the biblical Job. Nobody, or you cannot prevent me na mimi to create a song based on the same story, because the idea of Job's story, you don't have monopoly over it. Example ingine ni kama ya mobile money transfer systems. Of course, you know, the idea is you can transfer money from one mobile phone to a number. Kuna mingi sana zimetengenezwa, kuna ya Safaricom, kuna Airtel, all the banks have them. But you cannot copy venye Safaricom imefanya ama any other company has done. But nobody prevents you from coming up with the same idea. So it is the original creations of the mind, and it protects the expression, and it grants exclusive rights. Inakupatia ruhusa ya kufanya specific things in exclusion of the others. In other words, utaweza prevent wale wengine kufanya the rights that you have, ama utaweza wa authorize. That is how you make money by authorization. Of course, the legal backing ya copyright na intellectual property in general is Article 40 of the Constitution, yenye inasema that the state must protect and promote intellectual property rights of the people of Kenya. So you must be able to, the state must be able to protect that, and that is why they developed the Copyright Act of 2001, which is still it is an old act, and we are amending it. Tunaiamed. So I'll invite you muende kwa website ya Kenya Copyright Board, look for the bill, na comments zenu zitakuwa muhimu sana, as young people would want to see new things in the bill. Then at an international level, we have the Berne Convention. Tunaitanga hiyo is the mother of the copyright, or the father. I don't know who came first. I believe the father. So we should be calling it the father of copyright, not the mother of the copyright, being the head. So hiyo Berne Convention, member states are all UN member states. What does that mean? Inamaanisha your copyright iko protected globally in all the member states of Berne. Because I'm preempting that question. Kuna mtu ataniuliza kazi yako ikiwa infringed, mtu akiupload wimbo yako ama content yako akiwa Britain, akiwa US, are you protected? Yes, you are protected under the Berne Convention, but you enforce your rights in that country where infringement has happened. So copyright does not protect the idea. Tuko pamoja? Ina protect the expression of the idea. Venye ume-express hiyo wimbo. Reniti yako na wimbo, it is not protected until he wrote it down ama he produced it. Yenye ilikuwa kwa kichwa yake haikuwa protected. What is protected is after it has been expressed. There are some artworks unaziona hapa which have been brought. Once they have been expressed in this way, they are protected. The beauty with these ones, I think they are by Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro, that is your real name. Do you have a stage name? I don't know what to call it. Do you have you do? The one that you sign. You use your real name. Yeah. And that name you can also trademark. And I hope I'll remember to tell you how much money you can make out of this kind of visual arts as we move forward. But the idea is, utaweza kuwa na idea ya kuchora Sharon. I think there is somebody who has been given an obligation kuchora Sharon na atoke vizuri. Ni wewe? Si umeambia uchore Sharon na atoke vizuri? Na akuwe msupu. But ako msupu hata akiwa hivyo, but you can make it more beautiful than that. So, that is an idea. Wewe, hiyo kila mtu amepewa hiyo idea kuchora Sharon. So that idea is not protected until mtu mmoja ajitokeze achore hiyo image ya Sharon. So that thing that has been fixed is what is protected. Nothing prevents me or somebody else to create a similar drawing. So it is the expression, how you have expressed it. The song, once you have sung. The book, once you have written it down. A blog, once you have put it, you have written it down in your computer. An artistic work or a photograph, once you have taken the photograph, that is when it becomes protected. So that we call that expression idea dichotomy, that copyright protects the expression of the idea. That, ladies and gentlemen, inamaanisha that kuna specific works zenye zina qualify as copyright works. Hizo ni kama artistic works, just like examples are just like, I think there are several. Like this one, I think is a painting. Why is the mic? Do you want to describe this? Who has the mic? Mic, please. Just describe this. Say your name and what motivated you to create this very nice painting.
Morning. My name is Fidel Castro. I'm an abstract and surreal painter where I draw my motivations from real images but twist them with an abstract to form a surreal image. So there you can see a normal shopping with a heart inside, but the heart is formed from the sternum of the body, where you have the rib cage and the sternum, and the spinal cord forming down there, the heart shape. Yes.
Okay, good. I think I can also see another one here. I can show then. So the other one, you can just describe it.
Okay. In the year 2023, there was a movie, Kenya movie series called Volume. So this was a depiction from the movie series. I was trying to get a deal if they move the next episode, they can use this picture of mine in there. The next movie.
Okay, great. So that is an aspect of licensing.
Yeah, so as you, in the hand, you can see the hand is emerging from the city and there's a phone reaching towards this specific character. Yes.
Good, thank you.
I also have another one.
Okay, you can just show it.
For this is the lovers of Mary Jane and Meru. No pun intended. There you can see there's a lighter and a rose flower and a small cloud. On the other side, if you can zoom for them, there is there at the cloud, you can see it jumping off the plant into an ocean where there's like a fin of a shark or a whale. This is now depiction of surreal image, where you can see different aspects or different images coming to form one idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it that creativity? And they can make money out of this. What he didn't tell you is how much he's going to sell to Sharon. I think being my senior, she has to be buying. How much?
That's 10,000.
10,000. That is pocket money, Sharon. Yeah, so that is an artistic work. It is a drawing which has a meaning. You can tell it has a meaning. So that is an artistic work. Other kinds of artistic works ni vitu kama sculptures. Sijui kama kuna watu wanachonga. Hizo michongo ni artistic works. Architectural works, people who have done architecture, people who design buildings. Those architectural designs zina qualify kama copyright works. Photographs, ukichukua picha, kama kuna picha yenye my friend Emily amesema achukue hapa. I don't know whether kani amechukua ama somebody else. The question, who owns the copyright in that, but qualifies as a copyright work. There is something we call resale right, royalty. I don't think I will have the chance to mention it. Kwa Copyright Act, kuna pesa, you know, when these artists assume that imeuziwa Sharon ameenda London, imekuwa sold in an auction. It has fetched maybe millions of money. Mwenye amechora hiyo kazi has a right to get 5% of the resale of that amount. So kwa hii michoro na other artistic works kuna kuanga na pesa sana, particularly for countries zenye ziko na visual, I mean ziko na resale right. Ukienda London, and I think France, and some other few countries, kazi yako ikiwe sold in an auction, you have a right to get 5% of the resale. Every subsequent resale, uko na right ya kupata 5%. That is in our law. You have seen a lot of people making a lot of money out of it. Literary works ni vitu kama vitabu, vitu kama blogs, kuna wenye wanaandikanga blogs, kuna computer programs, nilimention computer programs zina protect the source code, that is protected as a copyright work. Hizi vitu zote mnaonanga za Google zote, they are protected under copyright. They are supposed to be protected under copyright, but some protect as what we call trade secrets. Musical works kuna, of course you know music. Na music kuna the lyrics, kuna ile the tune is protected separately as music work, and now the singing, the performance is also protected as a copyright work. But for music it is easy as it qualifies as a copyright work. Sound recordings, remember utaweza kuwa na music work yenye iko na hizo composition na iko na sound recording, the voice, the singing and the arrangement of the songs to fit the lyrics qualify as a copyright work. Audiovisual works ni vitu kama films ama videos zenye mnachukua hapa. Those would actually be copyright works. Even with your phone, those short clips zenye mnachukuanga mnaweka kwa TikTok, hizo ni copyright works, they are protected, na ni wewe tu utaweza authorize the doing of the rights that you have. Dramatic works, vitu kama dance moves, choreographic moves, martial arts moves, umeona watu wanakuanga na unique dance moves. Those dance moves are protected at the copyright. So and I've seen they are usually dance moves instructors, I don't know how to call them that, and they innovate or they creatively make very unique dance moves. Those dance moves actually qualify as copyright works as long as they are original, they are not copied, and they are expressed. So to express a dance move, kama umeona wakidance vizuri hapa, if they come up with a unique dance and they don't want anybody else to use, they can copyright. They take just a video of the dance move with a clear description of how these moves are, and then they register as copyright work, and they'll be protected. If somebody else copies those moves, then they will be infringing. And we have seen these dance moves coming up, particularly with this generation. We have very unique and very nice creative dance moves. They actually qualify from copyright, and you can make good money out of them. So the opportunities are there. Broadcast in a protect. Remember, in a broadcast, you know how a broadcast operates. Kuna signal, na then kuna content yenye imebebwa na hiyo signal. So a broadcast in a copyright sense ina protect the signal. Content iko protected separately. So utaweza kuwa na film, but then you license a broadcasting organization to film that, maybe to broadcast that. The copyright on the broadcast ni a broadcasting organization. Copyright ya content ni ya mwenye hiyo content. So they are two separate ones. Now that we know copyright ni nini and what qualifies as a copyright, who owns the copyright? And here, as we move in your mind, you can have artificial intelligence, and at the end of the day, you'll tell me whether you think that work is copyright protected. Tunasemanga the general rule, mwenye ametengeneza a copyright work ni yeye mwenye hiyo kazi. Ukikuja mwenye amechora hizi drawings, he is the copyright owner. He is the one who owns the copyright. And something else I need to mention. Kwa kazi kama hii, there are two things you need to notice. In this kind of work, there is the drawing yenye ametu explain here what it is, right? And then there is the physical thing, nikatuita kama canvas. Yeye amekaa chini akatafuta this material, then he draws it. There is a difference between this physical material and the rights therein. So hii drawing akiuzia mtu, assume auzie Sharon, hajauzia Sharon the rights, amemuuzia the physical thing. That means Sharon does not have the right kwenda kureproduce, doesn't have the right to commercialize or to, okay, she may resell because of the we call it exhaustion of rights, but hana right ya kureproduce, hana right ya kucommunicate to the public. Ukipata amenunua for her private use, of course the reason yenye amenunua inafaa kuambia, and then you allow her or you deny her. So ukienda upate assume that Sharon owns an airline. Hizo ni maombi mzuri Sharon. Yes. Owns an airline. Anaiweka kwa ndege, make several copies, anaweka kwa ndege. That is commercial. That is wrong because it is not for that is public use. So inafaa ikuwe for private use. Juu umemuuzia the physical thing, not the rights, unless kwa contract of sale umemwambia okay, you have the right to display it in a public place, or you have the right to reproduce, or you have specific rights. Otherwise hana those rights. So you have sold the physical. Hata akiweka online, you can object because that is not private use. Of course that is arguable. So those are the nitty-gritties for copyright that are a bit technical. So yeye ni anaown copyright or the rights therein. However, kama wewe ni employee, umeandikwa kazi na your employer, in the course of your employment umepatiwa kazi ya kupiga picha, kuchukua video, kutengeneza michoro kama hizi, the copyright in whatever you create belongs to the employer. That is the rule. Remember, the creator owns the right. However, if there is a contract, the employment contract, the employer owns the right. If it is commissioned work, that is subject to a contract. Kama employment contract inasema you own the copyright, then you own the copyright. But in the absence of a contract, ikisema otherwise, the employer owns the work. Commissioned work, mmepatiwa, you have been given a challenge. Assume that the county of Meru advertises for people, for creatives, kutengeneza an anthem for the county. If that happens, and you are paid, you create you and then you are paid, that copyright belongs to the county. So if you create a national anthem or the county anthem for the county through a commissioned work, kuna contract yenye na authorize ama contract utengeneze hiyo anthem, then copyright in that anthem will belong to the county. That is unless there is a contract. I will remind you that because we have seen some counties watu utengeneza and there are no contracts, and then kunakuwa na dispute. The county inaanza ku distribute that song na kuna contract. That content would belong to the person who created that work. So it is very, very important, Bwana Director, that when you are engaging these people in getting creative works, there has to be a contract that each party understands the rights that they have and who owns the intellectual property that comes out of that. Without that, mtaishi kuwa na disputes, and we have seen a lot of disputes relating to that. So it depends with the contract. Thank you, Patrick. So if you have all those kind of works, kama literary works, nimesema ni the author. Kama ni musical work, it is the composer or lyricist that owns the right. Sound recording ni producer. Watu wanaendanga kwa studio, wanatengeneza wimbo, wanaenda in a hit, then they start having disputes with the producer. Remember, it depends with the contract. Ni muhimu sana ukipeleka song, you have your content being reproduced or produced, you must have a contract. Nimeona watu wengi, actually in this region we have had complaints ati alikuwa rafiki yangu tukasema to produce wimbo and then in a hit mnaanza kungangania pesa. I tell you, especially if it is your friend or your relative or your mother or your father or whoever, ensure that uko na contract. So that is the ownership in relation to copyright works. If it is a performance, the performer, the person who sings, the person who dances owns the copyright in it. The idea behind intellectual property ni ati in a balance between public interest na the rights of the individual. Kama wewe mwenye una that copyright work, sheria ina balance, inasema fine, umetengeneza hiyo, umetumia resources zako, umetumia time yako, it is only important that wewe benefit from it, but the public should also benefit from it once you have recouped your investment in it. That is why inasemanga copyright subsists for miaka 50 after the author dies. What happens after the author dies? Your dependents will continue benefiting. You have a lot of traditional songs here where the original owners died. Copyright bado iko until after 50 years after the author dies. That is the general rule. In other countries like the US, it is 70 years. But in Kenya ni 50 years. So after that, hiyo kazi yako inaenda into public domain. Public domain inamaanisha now it is in the public and copyright has expired or somebody has given up on their rights. And there are so many copyright works that are in public domains which you can reuse without consent the author. But remember, just because kazi iko online haimaanishi it is in public domain for purposes of copyright. Public domain inamaanisha copyright ime expire, therefore utaweza itumia. So it is not every content that is online that is free for use. You must get the consent of the owner. We have an act that protects traditional cultural practices kama folk songs. So if you want to create a content out of a folk song and you don't belong to that community, ensure you get the consent from the community through the structure of leadership in that. I'm being alerted, time is not on my side. That is why I'm moving fast, but we'll take questions. Uko na haki gani? Kama right holders, uko na haki mara mbili. uko na economic rights. Economic rights ni hizo rights zenye zinakukubalia kutengeneza pesa, na mtaonyeshwa ama mtaambiwa venye utaweza tengeneza pesa. Then kuna moral rights which I'm explain shortly. So economic rights, remember tulisema uko na exclusive rights. Hizo rights they allow you to make money na ni exclusive kwako. Hakuna mtu mwingine ataweza fanya hizo mambo. The right to reproduce, tumesema those drawings, it is only the author mwenye ataweza reproduce, can take a photo for whatever use or can create similar ones. Ni yeye tu. Kama ni wimbo, it is only the author or the copyright holder who can reproduce that songs unless he gives authority. Distribution right to distribute by way of sale. Wewe umetoa wimbo, nimekuuzia wimbo yangu, you don't have the right to resell until or unless I tell you so. Public performance, kuna watu wameperform lakini wameperform wimbo yao, so they have the right. So if somebody else inafaa perform, they ni yao tu wataweza wa authorize that person through licensing. Public display, Fidel ame display hizi because he has the right to do so. Wao ukichukua uenda udisplay mahali kwingine, that is an infringement unless amekukubalia kufanya hivyo. Create derivative works, Fidel ame explain the idea behind these images. Mtu ataweza fikiria, let me write a book about what he has said. That is creating a derivative work. Ama umeandika kitabu, a book, then mtu anataka kutoa film ama a play out of that book. That play ama film is a derivative work. Mwenye kitabu lazima akuauthorize to do that. Moral rights ni paternal, they are personal in nature. Ni wewe mwenyewe uko nazo and they cannot be taken away. The right to be identified as the author. Hiyo wimbo Roniti ameimba hapo. If he authorizes you to do something, you must credit him as the author. Akikukubalia uweke kwa film yako, you must credit him as the author. Wewe mwenye ni actor ama performer, umeperform kwa film, you have the right to be identified as the author of that performance particularly. If you are umeandika hiyo story, you have the right to be identified as such. That is the right to attribution. It is a right and you can sue for if it is not actually respected. You have the right to use a pseudonym or to use to publish your work anonymously. Roniti ataweza fikiria atatumia jina yake, atatumia a pseudonym. You may use your name or not use your name. The right to object to distortion that would affect your reputation. Assume you are a Christian, umetoa wimbo, you have the right to object ichezwe kupromote alcoholic drinks or something similar to that. Something that it has affect your reputation as a right holder, as the author of that work. That is a moral right. Hiyo haikuangi transferred. It is personal and you cannot transfer it, you cannot sell it. You run with it until you die, and even after you die, the 50 years, as long as your copyright still subsists. Mtu tumesema kuna hizo rights, right to reproduce, right to publicly display, hizo rights zenye uko nazo. Infringement occurs when somebody else does those things without your permission or without your licensing, you licensing them. So it is an infringement to do all those rights without you having asked them to do so. If somebody does that, you can take two actions. Utaweza seek for civil remedies, umpeleke kotini useme unataka kulipwa for damages, ama account hizo pesa ametengeneza kutumia wimbo yako. Kama mtu ameweka wimbo yako kwa YouTube bila ruhusa yako, utaweza sema hizo pesa zote ametengeneza, ama zile pesa sijaweza kutengeneza kwa sababu ameweka pale, inafaa nilipwe. So you seek for civil remedies. The other option is utaweza report kwa Kenya Copyright Board. We have investigating officers who are here. I think they'll actually, I think they did introduce themselves. You can report. Alafu Kenya Copyright Board itaweza ishike huyo mtu, ifanye investigation, then huyo mtu atashtakiwa na serikali, and if he is found guilty, atalipa fine ama atafungwa. At the end of the day, you don't get anything. He just found guilty, pesa inalipwa kwa serikali kama ni fine ama anafungwa. You don't get anything. So it is important for you to know, if you are seeking for an infringement suit or claim, what exactly do you want to do? Do you want this person to be punished? Do you want to be paid for the use of that copyright work? So we call that strategic enforcement. And then lazima ujue when to enforce and when not to. kuna watu wengi sana wamesikia wimbo fulani because it has been infringed. The one that Aziad infringed ilikuwa ya Meja, ikiwa alikuwa na Meja, yeah, that one, utawezana, that song. Most people didn't know about it, but since Aziad used to play it a dance on her page, which was an infringement, the owner of that song would have decided to stop her, but yeye akaona acha nisimstock, and it traded, and that particular person became more popular. So ni vizuri ujue, do you really need to enforce, or do you let the infringement say? That is strategic enforcement. Remember nilisema kuna instances when a public in a balance private rights na public rights. Lazima public i benefit from copyright works, na lazima wewe u benefit from the same. So ina create instances when somebody ataweza tumia content yako bila kutafuta ruhusa yako. Hizo tunaziita exemptions and limitations, ziko kwa Copyright Act under the second schedule. If kama huyo mtu anatumia for scientific research, nimechukua wimbo yako ya Kimeru, nataka kuangalia kama miraa inakuanga na any effect, na kuna watu wameimba wimbo about miraa, I can take it and see what I can do a research. I know that is possible, but I think it is to find out whether it has that effect or the social effects of miraa in the family. Na kuna stories, kuna movies, kuna songs. I can take them and use them, and you cannot tell me that that is infringement. Private use, kama unatumia hiyo wimbo, hiyo copyright work for private use kwako kwa nyumba, ama in your private wedding, ama ni birthday party yako peke yako, unacheza wimbo, that is allowed. Umechukua picha kama hii umeweka kwako kwa nyumba, that is allowed. Music unacheza kwa gari yako, that is allowed, that is private use. Parody, kuna watu ama criticism, mtu ametoa wimbo, kama nataka kuchukua wimbo ya Ronnie T, I go on YouTube, so I'm criticizing that song as it plays, or I'm creating a parody out of that song, that is allowed as an exemption and limitation. Judicial proceedings, kama tuko na kesi natumia, I can use a copyright work without necessarily getting permission. We have seen mawakili waki reproduce other books belonging to other people, it is not an infringement. Ukitumia kama assume kama kuna hizi videos zenye zinachukua video hapa, in the course of taking the video kuna hizi photos zimewekwa hapa, then they appear in the video yenye tutaweka kwa YouTube ama somewhere else. The focus is not on them. The focus is on what I'm saying. So that is incidental inclusion of those ones. For example, another example, assume umeweka hii in a public place kwa building fulani hapa town, alafu mimi nataka kutoa film, nataka kufilm in Meru. So my story is very different about a love story. So hiyo picha yako ikue part of what I take, but it's not the focus. And your picture or your photograph or your drawing is in the public place, that is an exemption of the same. Educational purposes, unatumia kwa shule kufunza, hiyo ina allow because everybody has a right to education. So to ensure that education happens as a right, it is always fair to allow that to be used. Preservation by libraries, kama uko na assume kama hakuna wimbo ingine ya Ronnie T, hakuna ingine in the whole country, and he hasn't authorized reproduction, a library or an archive, it is reproduced for purposes of preservation. Ikiona hiyo it's a cultural, important for cultural preservation, it is ichukua i make copy for preservation, but not for commercialization, so long as they are not making money. People who write, it is allowed for somebody to create a separate work for purposes of access by visually impaired persons, people who cannot see, people who cannot read. They can reproduce that book in either braille or sound recording. Monetize just read your book as a purpose for making accessible for visually impaired person. So that is allowed under the Copyright Act. Meambiwa that copyright registration is necessary but not a must. Remember tulisema your work becomes protected once you express it, and there is no requirement for registration. Sio lazima uregister for you to get protection. However, it is very, very important for you to register because hiyo inakupatia nguvu ya kuenforce. If there is an infringement, ukikuja kwetu ama uende kotini, koti itakuuliza ama tutakuuliza hiyo kazi ni ya nani. Once you produce the certificate of registration, that it is presumed that that work is yours. So it is important when it comes to enforcement of your rights. It is also important when you are commercializing your work. Even in YouTube, of course, when there is an infringement case or you have made a complaint, YouTube atakuuliza who owns that right, produce evidence that you own that right. So the copyright registration certificate is one of the important documents that you can produce. We have our guys, you are directed to them, they can help you register. We are not charging at the moment to encourage that. One of the ways yenye utaweza tengeneza pesa is through one of the elephants in the house is through the collective management organizations. Notice, ni ngumu sana, I will not dwell too much into this, ni ngumu sana wewe kama muigizaji ama a singer ama a copyright owner kwenda kwa kila hoteli ama kwa kila matatu ama kwa kila ndege ama kwa kila anywhere where your work is likely to be used, kukaa usikize kama wimbo yako itachezwa alafu uambie wakulipe. It is technically impossible or very difficult. So creatives wenye wanafanya, they come together, wana create organizations which are their member organization, then wanaambia hii organization, you are going to license these establishments on our behalf. Let me concentrate on making content. Wewe uende kwa hizi mahoteli, wewe uende kwa hizi matatu, uambie walipe a blanket license fee. Ukisha collect, then share yangu ama share ya members should come to the members. So you collect the license fees, wanatoa the administrative cost, then the balance should be distributed to members. That is how organizations, CMO organizations, run. They are member organizations. Hizo member organizations, they elect the leadership, they manage them, but they are licensed and supervised by Kecobo, by the Kenya Copyright Board. So every year, the Kecobo will call for applications. So what submit applications, then we will license the ones we feel can collect and effectively distribute. If they don't do that, the only thing that we can do is to take away their licenses. But members wataweza fanya kitu by firing the leadership. You have seen, initially we have licensed MCSK. I'm sure you have heard MCSK. We have licensed Pavrisk. This year I think we licensed Pavrisk. There is also another one that had existed, Camp, and we have had others who have made up, but those are the common ones. There are cases in court that are revolving around the licensing system last year. So cases are still live, so tutaongea mambo mengi on that. The current status, we are expecting a ruling tomorrow that may change the whole thing. So that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to have a question and answer session, time allowing, but that is my time. Thank you so much.
Put for me the one on monetization, how to make money. Yeah, that's thank you, Mr. Kaindo. Umeshika nini? Ronnie T, your friend with whatever thing it's called. What is it called? The thing on your head. Umesikiaje? Kaindo amesema aje kuhusu copyright.
Aha. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Menot kidogo.
Mm.
About copyright, protects the original creative of
The original creations of your
idea.
mind. Mm.
Idea and you can
Not the idea, how you express the idea.
Okay, thank you.
From this side, niwe naangalia.
Hello again.
Hi.
I think ni mambo mingi sana ya kudigest.
Niambie tu moja yenye umechukua yenye bado ina digestika.
I think nimepick up hiyo ya unaita kipi? Yeah, Kenya Industrial Properties, that you can trademark your artist name. I don't think many
The
people
stage
knew
name.
that. Yeah, stage name. I don't think many people knew that. And yeah.
Do you have a volunteer backbenchers who wants to tell me what they've picked? Yes, thank you. I have a backbencher volunteer hapo. Tell us your name. I don't think you introduced yourself.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name's Sarah. I picked two things. That one was industrial property and trademark. And I've really learned a lot because I've seen that we have a right to protect our contents, our creation, whatever you are doing as you, we have a right. Thank you so much. We have learned a lot. I think that is all I can say.
Sarah, what creative are you? What do you do?
I'm an actor.
An actress.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to ask a question. And I want to ask an author, one author, who said they are an author. Kuna watu hapa katikati mulisema you're an author. How do you make money with what you write? Mulikuwa na mics ngapi? Give me one. How do you make money with what you write? Any author in the house? Any author in the house? Huyo poet alisema anaitwaje? Ati? Galvani. Ako wapi? Hata umejifunika macho, unajificha. Tell me one of the ways that you make money from your poetry. I want practical experience. I don't do that myself. I don't write poems. How do you make money with your poems? Patia huyu amevaa kofia huyu. Ulituambia poem mzuri sana about your mother.
Ya Jeni mkobie hope kuna kenye mna get. So mi venye nafanya na make money hapa na spoken word. Natokea kwa show kaya MC Stugi. MC Stugi akinipea kichance. At the end of the day ka huyo msi mwenye kani rurashio ama ni seme birthday party ama hizi drama za shule. Ka juzi saa tu tulikuwaga drama za shule. Uko drama kuna maboys jana wako talented. So semeka ka shule yenye mimi nilikuwa na performia tulipata number 5. So at the end of the day uko shule unaweza rudi upate kuna mwenye anaku appreciate ama kwa kenye umeleta kuna mwenye atataka kukusupport ama huku nje na supportiana tu, si eti iko na pesa sana bado bado hatujafika,
lakini kufika hapo
si lazima, si ndio maana tuko hapa.
Any musician who wants to volunteer and say how they make money with their music? Kuna mmoja hapa?
Mungu ni mwema kila wakati. Vile nimewaambia, mimi naitwa Kasek, nasomea hapa Meru University. Mimi vile napata pesa kupitia kwa music. Enyewe nimeimba, nimerekodi nyimbo zangu, nimeweka YouTube, lakini bado sijafikia hiyo kiwango ya kulipwa na YouTube. Lakini wakati tuseme kuna event fulani kwa kanisa fulani na niko na marafiki huko, wakati kuna event huwa wananialika. Sasa after performance mtu ananipea kitu, mwingine kitu hivi. Sasa hivyo ndo mimi nafanikiwa kupata ka kitu. Pia mimi ni guitarist solo. Kama kuna event kanisa fulani inahitaji mtu wa kucheza gitaa, nikienda hapo nikicheza, at the end of the day napatiwa ka kitu na appreciate. Mimi
Appreciate him, please.
then nimesikia amesema nini about ni anthem ya Meru. Already nisha compose. Hiyo nimembuka.
Anthem, wow. Anasema already asha compose anthem ya Meru atapelekea governor. Mr. Ireru unasikia? Msanii ndio huyo. Atakuona kando. Factors to consider ukitaka kumonetize your work. When you're thinking about music, vile utamonetize music, vile utamonetize books, poems, this artwork, you have to consider the type of work. Hii artwork you may not monetize the same way utamonetize a song, isn't it? So you have to consider what is your artwork, what is the kind of work. If it's a book, you consider selling it in a software or consider licensing it. Siku hizi most people are doing audiobooks or e-books, si ndio? But ukikuwa na kitabu umechapisha hivi hard copy, you may have to rethink how to monetize. Target audience, una target nani? I'm assuming ukiimba Kimeru una target wa Meru, si ndio? Yes. Ukiimba certain type of songs, you may be targeting the young people. Ukiimba certain type, you may be targeting older people. So unajiuliza, who is your target audience? With what you're creating, who is your target audience? How much time do you need and the effort kumonetize hiyo kazi? Kama ni artwork kama hii, lazima ujiulize, how much time will you need and the effort to monetize this? There's a guy I know who used to sell his music in CDs. Tao alikuwa anasimama tu kwa street na kusimamisha na kuambia mimi ni msanii nauza CD. So juzi I met him, he was doing fumigation kwa manyumba. Then I said, "Ala, uliacha kuuza muziki?" Akasema, siku hizi we are online." But he would stand there the whole day anauza CD. How much effort and time do you need to sell that work? Competition, what is the competition in the market? You need to ask yourself, how many people in Meru are doing this kind of artwork? What is the competition out there? So that will inform how you're going to monetize. What are your financial goals? You want to make how much money in how long? Yeah, that should inform vile utauza hiyo kitu. The easiest way of monetizing is selling your work, isn't it? Muziki kitambo kulikuwa na CDs, DVDs, but sai tumeenda online, ndio? So you need to sell copies to earn money directly from your audience. But now you're online. What does that mean? You have to put your music on YouTube. Ukitengeneza CD utauzia nani? Most people are not buying CDs now, isn't it? So lazima ujiambie pia wewe you adapt to what is happening, yeah? Licensing your work. Ulisikia huyo akituambia he was hoping to license this artwork to the people that did this movie. Inaitwaje? Volume, yeah. So he can license his artwork to the people that did that volume. The next time they can use it for that, yeah? This entails giving permission to another person to use your creative work in exchange for a fee. It's not usually for free. Licensing, you give out in exchange for a fee. For example, a publisher can license his book to be translated. Muliambiwa hizo rights, reproduction, kuna ingine inaitwa adaptation, translation. You can give out your poetry, mtu translate into Kiswahili sanifu, for example, yeah? You can license that. or a musician can license your music to be used in a film. Ukipata mtu mwenye anatengeneza film, say about Meru, you can tell them, I already have a song about welcome to Meru. You can use this song in your film. You can license it to that person. Advertising and marketing, mostly if the work is popular or well known, you can use it for adverts and marketing. For example, a musician can allow a company to use his song for promotional events and advertising. But remember, usage of your work must be in line with your values and your brand. Okay? For example, niliwaambia mimi ni msanii, I do gospel. So, if I had my own song, siwezi peana KBL watumie kwa advert ya pombe because I don't take alcohol and I don't subscribe to that idea. So I would not want to promote that. So if I'm going to give out my song, sitapeana kwa KBL, I may give to a church, for example, or somebody else. Yeah? Nasikia kuna time the song kuna dawa, you know it? Nyinyi majenzi, you may not know that song. Kuna dawa, kuna dawa. I'm told it used to be played in social places, in pubs. Na watu wanafurahi, walevi wanafurahi. The person who wrote the song meant something else with the dawa. But sasa mlevi anaichukulia kitu ingine. So she has a right to license a song to anybody to use, but she can say, I don't want to promote alcohol, for example, because she's a gospel artist. Yeah? It also must be in line with your brand. Yeah? You have been building a brand, so utaki kazi yako itumike out of line with your values and your brand. So you have to be careful even when you're allowing people to use your work for advertising purposes and marketing. Inaingiana na wewe kama msanii, what you believe, what values you hold. Lazima ukumbuke hiyo. Another way is to allow people to create chenye tunaita derivative works out of your work. Yeah? New works can help in expanding your audience. For example, nimesema unaona hizo picha nimeweka hapo mbili. These were originally books. And then they were turned into movies. So the book is one work. The movie is a different work. So these people allowed somebody to make a movie out of their book. Yeah? So una license, that means they have expanded their audience. The people who don't read are able to watch the movie. And then they are told this is it's from an original book. So this is how somebody can make another work out of your work, another product. Yeah? Yeah? Assignment of copyright. You know copyright can be sold. I don't know if Kaindo mentioned that. You can actually sell your copyright. Yeah? So hiyo kawimbo umeandikia county, you can actually sell the copyright to them so that the county gets the song and the copyright. Yeah? It will no longer be yours. The county will use that song every time without asking for your permission because umewauzia kabisa. That is what we call assignment. When you are assigning your copyright, unauza kabisa. This one you have no control. Ukishauza, umeuza. You only have a right to be known kama ulisema unaitwa? Kasegi. You only have a right to be known kwamba wewe ndio uliandika hiyo anthem, but ukishauzia county umewauzia copyright, you don't have any right in that song. Okay? So copyright is a property that can be sold also. It can be inherited. Muliambiwa copyright lasts for the whole of your life and then 50 years after you die. That means that if your song is making money, if your artwork is making money, if your book is making money, your family have a right to get that money kama ulikufa until that 50 years lapses. That is when copyright will expire. Okay? Making a living as an artist, you have to make a lot of work. A lot of work. Some of you unaandika wimbo moja in 5 years. How do you expect to make it as an artist? Umeandika wimbo moja miaka 5. Utaandika ingine tena. You have to make a lot of work. If you make a lot of work, at least kuna kamoja kataponyoka hapo kahit, si ndio? But sasa ukitengeneza moja na hujatengeneza zingine, so make sure you make a lot of work, then you show the best of your work to a lot of people. Now you have online. That is the easiest place to show a lot of people your work. Yeah? But ukitengeneza hiyo song moja na unyamaze nayo, how do you expect it to hit? You need to show a lot of your best work to a lot of people. Be friendly, okay? Mambo ya kutukanana online wasanii tuache, si ndio? You're quarreling with your fans, unawatukana online, and these are your fans. You're expecting or subscribe upate hizo numbers. You need to be friendly to your fans. Remember, you're building a fan base. Yeah? You're building a fan base, so you have to appeal to your fans. Keep in touch with your clients. Ukiuzia mtu hii, ulisema unaitwa Fidel Castro. Ukiuzia mtu hii, you need to keep in touch with your clients. Namwambia niko na kitu mpya unaweza penda. Because mimi nikinunua I forget. But it is up to you to keep in touch with your clients. Unanikumbuka nilikuuzia nini fulani, I have new works. Can I bring in your office uone? Yeah? And then in fact you need to take your artwork to the county. Upeleke Mr. Ireri. Some of the things we display in our offices, they need to be such works from our artists. Yeah? Have you seen in offices people display artwork? Yeah. So you need to take such. Yeah? Price your work in a friendly way so that it's affordable. Then protect yourself. Of course, tumesema registration is part of protecting yourself. Eh? And when you're online, ukiona infringement may happen, give out infringement warnings, give out the warnings. There's a lady I was helping juzi, I trained them somewhere, then akaja akaniambia that her friend aliingia kwa flight, one of the local airlines. Alafu they have a magazine in the flight. And then anaona picha yake hapo. So she's like, where did these people get her photo? Yeye ni msanii, she's a musician. So akipiga show, her friend took a photo. And of course, I'm sure it was online. So unapata hiyo photo imewekwa kwa magazine, in-flight magazine. So I went to a meeting with her, with the flight, the airline people. And they were saying, oh, we're so sorry, tulitoa tu online. And we didn't mean to hurt you. In fact, to make a promote, nini. But she knew her rights, and she said, yeah, but you didn't ask for my permission. You have infringed on my image rights and on the copyright in the photo. So we are still talking to see if they'll pay. They were actually just saying, we can just, tunaweza kukupromote, ukipiga show tukuje, sijui nini. It's like, no, you need to pay. Yeah? But she had to, when she came, I advised her first, waandikie email and copy me. Tell them this is wrong. And that when she wrote the email is when they reached out. They want to meet. But ukinyamaza, there's a principle in law that says when you keep silent, umekubali. Umekubali that wrong. Okay? So you need to protect yourself whenever your work is infringed upon. Make sure you have complained, you have issued warnings, you have issued infringement warnings. Contracts, hii ndio kitu ingine wasanii hawapendi kusign contracts. Takwambia niliongea tu na boy wangu MC sijui nani unaitwa Stugi. Niliongea na MC Stugi akaniita tupige show tufanye nini tukakubaliana atanipea 10k. Akishamaliza na kuambia wewe shika hii 2,000 tutaongea. But you have no contract. Then you start to complain. You make sure you sign contracts, okay? Sign contracts for every deal that you're getting into. Sign contracts. Musicians, some of the ways you can make money, of course, live performances. I don't know kama Meru, you have places that you do live performances, but I'm sure you do. YouTube channel. Wangapi wako na channels hapa? 1. Okay, ni wengi. YouTube channel. Don't be discouraged kama bado haijapik. Have the channel first. See, that's where we start. Then you begin to promote each other. Promote each other. Ukikutana hapa, one of the things you need to do today is network. Si ndio? Network with each other, mjuane, jua wasanii wengine. While you network, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel. That's how we build. Si ndio? Na lazima tusapotiane. Nyinyi msiposapotiana, nani atawasupport? You start with yourselves, support each other. So today kila mtu atoke hapa kama amesubscribe kwa YouTube channel ya mwenzake na yake pia people have subscribed. Even me, you come and tell me your channel I subscribe. Si ndio? Because what are we building? The numbers. That is what pays on YouTube, the numbers and the views. Si ndio? Hello? Muko? Brand partnerships and sponsorships, you can get that from different companies. Have you seen Akode? Akode does these brand partnerships very well. She has done with Skyward, which is an airline. And they told me part of the deals they give her ni wanampea tickets akienda ushago, akienda wapi, where they fly. Wanampea tickets. And she's usually very serious to market them. You can think she has shares huko. Aya, akaanza kumarket sijui rosy tissue. Some tissue that hata ujali, but when she started marketing it, I said, I need to find out if it's that good. She started marketing hii unga sijui inaitwa Raha. But she's so serious. Sometimes hata ana-involvingi watoto wake wote. Anakuja anapiga video na hao. Those are some of the things you can do kama msanii to market yourself and to push your work, yeah? Selling merchandise, Kaindo alikuambia hata hiyo kakitamba yako boss ingekuwa already iko na brand yako hapo. MC Stuji, that hoodie should be reading. Bas, hebu kuja tuone. This is what we are talking about. Merchandise. Anauza, anasema yeye uuza hizi. This is what we are talking about. Unaona? Huyu nani? Soma lebo. Anauza. That is part of merchandising, eh? Vikombe, the things that people buy. Bottles, vikombe, like this bottle of mine. It's written Partners Against Piracy. This is an institution we work with to work against piracy. And December watakuletea bottle kama hii. This, unaona? This is what merchandising is about. Mnasoma lebo. Hii Faidika. Yeah? That is part of merchandising. Unaanza hata na t-shirt mbili na hoodie mbili, alafu una grow hivyo, si ndio? Mtu akiona atauliza, ni aje? Can I get this? And then of course royalties. Kaindo has talked to us about CMOs. In Kenya, they are not yet working as they should. But huko majuu, people get a lot of money from royalties. Yeah. Digital sales and collaborations. That is another way musicians can make money. Ringback tunes. Remember, watu wa collabos, you need to have agreements, contracts between you. Yeah. Najua kama wasanii, sometimes you come together, you do a song. Aidha mtu anakuambia nimeandika verse, andika yako. Ama anasema nimeandika wimbo but I feel your voice will be nice in my song, kuja tuimbe. You need to agree. Mimi nikipiga show naweza imba hiyo wimbo bila wewe. Can I give permission for people to use it without you? All those things must be in an agreement. And most wasanii mkuangi na hizo agreement. The issues come, unasikia ule mlifanya collab na yeye amepiga show akaimba hiyo wimbo na huku kwa, then you begin to complain but there's no agreement. That's what I was saying, you sign contracts. Then of course ringback tunes. Have you subscribed to Skiza? Yeah, you need to put your songs on Skiza, yeah? That's part of the way you can earn money. Right now we amended our act to provide kwamba ukikuwa na wimbo wako Skiza, you need to be paid at least 53% of the income. And it needs to come directly to you, not through those PRSPs. Yeah. So at least you put your song on Skiza. My poetry guy, you can record yourself narrating or doing your spoken word. You put it as a Skiza tune, and you make sure people have subscribed. Yeah. Yeah, poets, you can do publishing of your poems. Kama ni mingi, publish them into a book, and now you don't need to print a book. Unaifanya digital, yeah? Ebook. You can sell it online. You can do audio poems like what you're performing here. You can actually go to studio and record yourself performing. Na usambaze hizo spoken word, of course, selling poems online. There's this website, tunaona number 7 hapo, inaitwa Etsy. People sell poems there. You should visit that website and place your stuff there. Create a website for poems and blogging. Unafaa kuwe na website penye unaweka hizo poems zako. Sell on demand items with your poetry. Those are some of the ways you can make money. Visual artists, Fidel, you can sell your art online at art fairs, at galleries. I don't know if Meru has any art galleries. Hakuna. Lazima mkuje Nairobi. But why can't you talk to Mr. Ireri? He's from culture. You make sure Meru establishes an art gallery here. Juu utashinda ukikuja Nairobi, si ndio? There is. There's an art gallery. Oh. You make sure you take your artworks there. You can license, vile ulikuwa unasema, upea wase wa movie. Selling merchandise, of course, t-shirts, mugs, phone cases. You can teach art classes. That's part of the ways you can make money. Grant artists, you can get grant artists, can apply for grants from donors. Tafuta donors when you're napatia artist grants. Yeah? I have seen in malls nowadays, people put mahali pa watoto kucheza. Sometimes you will find even there's painting there. Unachorea tu watoto something and you let them paint. You help them to paint and people pay. We are always charged in these malls from 300 to 500 per child. Akae tu hapo 30 minutes, unamshow vile ata paint. You will only come with the canvas. You have already drawn an apple, you have drawn a car, you have drawn whatever. So mtoto ana paint too and parents pay. In Nairobi, I know it works, so it can work here also. Because sisi wa watu wa CBC, we are always looking for people, things to do to engage your child. So we are always going to these places. So as an artist, you can do that. Unaenda tu na tu canvas tudogo. This is too big. Kadogo tu hata size ya hii kitabu. Umeshachora an apple, umechora gari, umechora nini, different things for boys and girls. Then you get a space where they can come and do the painting. That is part of the ways you can make money with your art. Actors, mnangojea big screen movie ifike Meru, si ndio? Sara, unangojea big screen movie ifike huko? Pardon? You get gigs and get paid. That's nice. So you can do TV shows also. I don't know if there's a TV here in Meru. I'm sure there's a radio. Si ndio? Radio station, yeah? TV sijui? Kuna TV? Okay. You can try, get TV shows, endorsements, get a product and endorse, like a soap, like here tissue huyo mtu anafanya. Look for a company here and get a product you can endorse for them. Cover magazines, establishing a video channel. You should also have a YouTube channel to showcase your acting there. Theater gigs, of course. You can become a product spokesperson. Wewe tu ndio unaongelelea ule anafanya whatever here in Meru, yeah, for any product. Of course, the places we can sell our artwork is social media. Some of the benefits of social media, you market your artwork there, you have to develop an audience, you find your peers for inspiration. Ukienda hiyo online, do you find other artists you want to see what they are doing, you want to see how they are doing? If you are a musician, you find other musicians of your genre, what are they doing, how are they doing it? So you need to find your peers, find inspiration there. How do you use social media successfully? You need to protect your time. I was telling someone sometimes unaweza amka unajiambia hebu niingie Facebook kidogo, 3 hours later umekuwa tu hapo Facebook, but ukijiuliza what you have done hakuna. 6 hours later umekuwa hapo TikTok, umefanya nini? Nilikuwa tu na watch video za watu, naona moshene, naona nani anagombana, naangalia story za nani, but what have you done as a person to improve yourself or improve your work or market your artwork? You need to protect your time. Studio work is more important than doing that social media. If you're coming to create content, kuja chapa video, enda. Ukikaa hapo, you can waste a lot of time, a lot of time online. I've seen it. Be social and authentic. Authentic ni kukua real. Yeah? Don't live a fake life, MC Studio. Watu wanakuona online, you're driving a range, sijui unaishi wapi, nini, but kwa ground vitu ni tofauti. When people begin to know the real you, wataona tu ni fake and they don't want to follow you anymore. Yeah? I always give an example of a lady I've seen on Facebook. She's called Rose. She's a Ugandan, married to a Chinese, and she lives in a village in China. Village. Mpaka anapikia kuni, mpaka anaonyesha video ako shambani, she's growing her things. Ameenda amechuna sijui mboga, amekuja ameanza kutengeneza, and people love her. She has like 7 million views nini, and she's very real. Hana makeup, by the way amekata nywele, akwangi na makeup, ako tu simple, but people love her so much because they like that realness. And most of the Africans wataenda hapo waseme this is real African. Ako hapo analima kashamba yake hapo. So she's grown like that. Akafika mahali akafungua YouTube, 7 million views, 10 million views. Pesa ikaanza kuingia. She's now built a very big house, a mansion, actually 3-storied. And her fans wanaenda tu na yeye. Aya tuhame sasa, tumehama. And you can see people love her. But one of the things throughout her comments, people love about her is how real and authentic she is. Hakukuja hapo anajifanya slay queen sijui nini z. Ako tu bila ako. Anaenda shambani, analima, anachuna mboga, anakuja, anaanza kukata, anaanza kupika, anaasha kuni, hivyo. So people like it when you're real and you're authentic. I've seen a lot of creatives online. The life unaona ako nayo online and their real life haziambatani, si ndio? Ikifika hapo you will lose your fans, you will lose the people, the fan base that you're trying to build, and you won't be able to sell your work. Eh? So be social, be authentic. I have said also, kuna msanii, she hit with one song. Then she became arrogant. Akaanza kutukana watu, sijui nini, anatukana watu online. One time we went to have a training, na DJ akacheza wimbo wake, karibu tuchapwe. And it was her community. Kasema hatutaki kusikia hiyo wimbo hapa. We don't want to hear that msanii and we don't listen to her. And then we were like, kwani? Said, alitutukana. Like, okay. Nikaambiwa mpaka the radios kwao mashinani hawachezangi nyimbo zake, na zile kolabo amepiga wanacheza, mwingine akiimba, yeye akiimba they mute. That is how bad it is. And then after that, the songs she has done after that, nobody knows them. They have never hit. Eh? So she lost a lot of money as a result. So you have to be social, be friendly. Remember, you're building a fan base. But also, what value are you providing? Yeah? Unapiga tu content ya upuzi ama you want to provide a certain value. Mimi ningekuwa na time ya kupiga content, I would do this what I am doing. I would provide information on copyright, on IP for wasanii. What value do you want to provide? What kind of content are you pushing out there? Na nilirealize content creation ni kazi. Kazi, you need time. You need time to create the content like daily. You need also the content. You some people ukiwa watch anafikanga mahali hana content. Alicreate akakuwa funny kidogo, then at some point you see they have no content at all. Hana kitu ya kusema. So what they do, they start reposting the old videos. Ama they put another twist to it. Yeah? So you need to ukae chini ujiite mkutano. What value do you want to provide? What content are you doing? Now tumesema mostly now we are online. How are you protecting yourself online? Watermark. You can put a watermark on your work. Fidel, if you put this online, you can put a watermark with your name, Fidel, or whatever stage name you want to use, art name you want to use, yeah? You put a watermark so that anytime anybody identifies that artwork, anajua ni yako. You can tag your work. You can disable the right click. Sana musicians. I see most of you on YouTube, people can download your songs. Yeah, you should put technological protection measures ambazo mtu anashindwa kudownload but anaweza sikiza hapo. So that means that whenever they want to listen to do whatever, they have to subscribe, they have to pay for it in a certain way. Yeah? Add disclosures and friendly reminders. Kumbusha watu, this is my work, this is copyright protected. If you need this, you can reach me. Send out infringement warnings. I explained this earlier. When your work is infringed upon, remember to send out a warning. If you keep quiet, it means umekubali your infringement. Report copyright violations. Remember, Kaindo told us you can report to Copyright Board. We will advise you what to do. You know there are two ways in which you can deal with an infringement, criminal and civil. Remember, when somebody is fined in a criminal case, fine goes to government. You don't get anything. But if you want them to pay you some money, you will have to lodge a civil matter. Yeah, you will have to sue them in a civil matter. Be careful about where you post, also depending on who you are targeting. Nikitarget Gen Z niende wapi? Online? Yeah? TikTok? Facebook? No. Yes, so if I'm targeting Gen Z and I'm on Facebook, will I get my target audience? You have to know, where are you posting? Who are you looking for? Who are you targeting? And where are you posting? Yeah. Also, what am I posting? Let us avoid infringing on other people's works while we are creating our own. So, what musicians mumefikiwa, watu wa cover songs. Cover songs, you like doing cover songs. Remember, you need permission to do a cover song. It's not enough to just put there cover by Sharon Water. No. You need to have received the permission of the song owner to do a cover song. You also need to do acknowledgements vizuri. Kusema tu, I don't own the right to this song is not an acknowledgement. Acknowledgement ni kusema, this song is by Sharon Water. That's acknowledgement, yeah? But kusema tu, I don't own the rights, that's a disclaimer, but it is not acknowledging the owner. Lazima useme mwenyewe ni 1, 2, 3. Hire a lawyer where possible. I already told you Copyright Board can give you legal services for free. We can give you legal advice. You can actually just send an email, say with a contract, and say, could I kindly get a lawyer, help me to read this contract and advice. You don't have to come to Nairobi. You can make a call, na utapata those services for free. And then let's keep creating. Let us keep creating. As I said, unasikianga mtu alicreate ama alivuma alafu akakuja akanyamaza. Some of the gospel artist industry people, I'm always like, wait a minute. Nani alienda wapi? Ule boy aliimba muhadhara. Is a time it really hit. Mnakumbuka hiyo song? Tiga nega ningepatwa na muhadhara. Amujaisikia hiyo? Nye mimi ni mzee. Umeisikia? Jimmy Gate. So sometimes I sit down, I'm like, alienda wapi? Who boy alienda wapi? And if I could meet him, I'd be like, are you creating? Are you still singing? He has a talent, right? So kama msanii, you need to keep creating. You need to keep creating your work. You also never know. Out of those 50 songs, 2 can come out and hit, and that is what will throw you somewhere. Yeah, those are our contacts. We are in NHIF, or no, now it's called SHA building in Nairobi. If you're in Nairobi, you're welcome to come. But if you can't reach there, you can reach us on email, info@copyright.go.ke, Twitter @Kenya Copyright, Facebook, Kenya Copyright Board, Instagram, LinkedIn, we are on YouTube, Kenya Copyright Board, Kenya Copyright Board, Kenya Copyright Board. You can also take the numbers. If you call and say, I want to speak to Madam Sharon, kama niko, nitakuongelesha. Okay? So don't feel shy. I come to the end of that bit. We are going to take questions in our session, so be writing your questions down. I want to ask us one question. We have talked a bit. This is not exhaustive. In fact, you're the ones with the answers on how to make money. You need your wasani. So I'm sure you have other ways that you can also share with us how you make money. But after we make that money, are we able to keep it? Is it able to help us change our lives? Are we able to keep it? How do we manage that money? I told you earlier when I started that I have seen situations where most creatives can't afford hospital, can't afford this, can't afford this. Juu ulipiga show ukalipwa 500k, county ilikuita ukapiga show ukapata pesa mzuri, you lived large for 3 months. After 3 months tukarudi kwa ground tukarudi back to square one. Have you ever asked yourself, how do I make sure that nikishapiga show nimepata kitu na ngojea show ingine yenye sijui itakuja lini? How do I survive and also invest and also keep this so that it sustains me? I want us to talk about financial management now. So mukinipigia makofi, I'm calling Mr. Kiogora to come and tell us a bit about financial management. Listen, put down your questions. After he's done, we'll do the question and answer for everything and then we finish. Sindio? Hello? Wasanii wa Meru? Makofi kwa mimi. Kiogora nimeambiwa hawa jamaa vile walisikia wewe ni Meru, wakasema lazima ukaribishwe. Na nini hapa? Kasongo. By Mike Tom. Mike Tom ni nani? Kuja ukaribisha jamaa yenu hapa. Mtu wa pesa, tuambie juu ya pesa, si ndio? Si mmepigia makofi akikuja bana. So, in the house, we have Mike Tom. Give it up for Mike Tom.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Nito Mike. I'm an artist. Naipanga ngoma za Kimeru. Sitaka kurekodi huko. Acha niimbe tu kapela kidogo. Komanda sharirwe turene akigane Meru ntanoigwa ogamboje muro za Kemeru. Otwere batobo Kemeru bore kanya. Bore oshia mutano nataka tukuyikumya. Asanteni. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, just a reminder, make sure ile namba umeandika pale M-Pesa is the right one. Usikuwa umeandikia you know who. Sawa? Yes, please confirm your number.
Thank you, Emily. Is it afternoon? Good afternoon. Naona mnakaa kuchoka kidogo. Can we stretch? Yes?
Ayeya. Asante siko. Ukiwa tu umeketi hapo, sawa? Nikisema Faidika. Faidika. So do as I say, not do as I'm doing. Sasa, Faidika?
Wakaita polisi, kumbe polisi pia ni shabiki.
Aya, twende mwisho. Faidika?
Wakaficha msosi, wakatupata na dishi mezani.
Angalia. Kama dishi yako na kama fulani kaitwa chicken. Iko. Aya, naomba tusimame basi. Ni simple, unafanya hivi. 1 2 3. Tuhesabu 1 2 3. Next 1 2 3. Alafu na clap. Sawa. Mara nne. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Alafu. Twende kazi. DJ tuko ready.
Are ready? Aha! Sasa side. Fanya hivi. Dona. Dona. Mtu mkono hapa tu. Tende chini. Juu. Aha. Simple tu. Lean side moja, lean side moja, lean side moja. Hapo. Aha. Nice. They call me MC Salano. I'm a hype man Salano. Thank you for your time.
Pigie makofi tena. Thank you very much. So the acting director of culture na wasanii wetu na wasalimu tena. Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is George Kiogora. I'm from this county, Kwetu. Actually I'm from this constituency. Kwetu ni hapa tu, kuna pahali hapa inaitwa Kirogine, just across hapa. So I work with the Kenya Copyright Board as the acting assistant executive director, finance and planning. So in the next like 20 or so minutes, a few minutes, nataka tupitie a short presentation. Before that, nimekumbushwa kwamba registration of copyright work is still ongoing. So Edwin ako somewhere, mtamuona, you register your work, and as it was announced, registration is free of charge. So don't leave kama hujaregister kazi yako. Anaitwa Edwin Mushila, actually ako pale nyuma, ameinua mkono. So please see him and register your work. So staki, najua tumekuwa hapa the whole day, so I don't want us to it's okay. Okay. So there are 3 branches of financial management. I'm sure mmeambiwa nakuja kupresent about financial management. Actually, not branches, rather they are branches, yes. So kuna ile tunaita public financial management. I'm sure our director hiyo ndio maneno wanafanya huko kwa county, finance na pia huko national government. So hii ni pesa ile tunaita ya serikali. That is what national treasury, county treasury and all that. Then there is the corporate financial management. So those of you who are working in the corporate sector ama kwa makampuni, mnajua Safaricom and all that. So they do what we call corporate financial management. They are governed by various laws and statutes. But today tuko hapa kuongelelea kitu inaitwa personal financial management. Personal financial management, so hii ni pesa yako. You understand? So this is not government money, neither is it organizations money, SACCO's money or any other person's money. This is personal finance. Na I remember one time tulienda kutrain, sijui ilikuwa Machakos. I remember young people like you walikuwa wanatuambia pesa ipendi kelele. So the first thing is, as an artist, you will make a lot of money now and in the future. So what happens is that most people ignore the aspect of financial literacy. So inakuwa kwamba unapata pesa, yes, but hii pesa inapiga kelele kuliko wewe. You understand? So that now the money ends up controlling you. So unajisahau, as madam was saying. Na hii pesa inakuja, watu wamekuona huko kwa mitandao, umefanya 1 2 3, then unajisahau, kumbe hii pesa inarudi inaisha. Then sasa unasikia hizo story. So what we are trying to say is, manage your finances well. Those of you who are Christians, I like giving Bible verses. In the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verses 19, mnaweza andika, inasema Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verses 19, inasema money answereth all things. Pesa ndio inajibu kila swali. So if you make money, you are able to live well, but you have to manage it. So personal financial management is managing your income, managing your money to cover expenses. So you have to cover your rent, kama una rent, cover your school fees, cover your food and other basic expenses. You save and invest for the future. Okay? It involves being financial planner and setting smart financial goals or objectives. So basically what we are saying is, manage your funds in such a way that utajishughulikia mahitaji yako, but at the same time there is a tomorrow. So you can save some money that will, once you save, out of that saving, you are able to invest for the future. There is a future, and there is another generation that is going to look after you, or to look towards you. So this is basically what it incorporates. You can see the financial management nini is at the middle, iko katikati. So it involves how you spend your money, how you save your money. First of all, you have received some income, whatever amount it is, 100 shillings, 1,000 shillings, whatever amount. Now how you spend it, because lazima utumie. Pesa iwezi kuja ikae kwa mfuko ama kwa bank ama kwa mattress. So you have to spend it, utumie fare, utumie nini, those things. Then after that, you have something that you can save. Once you save, from the savings, you are able to invest. So, and most of these things are not rocket science. Utapata pesa, hiyo ni straightforward. Utatumia, kwanza kutumia ni rahisi sana. Saving pia ni rahisi, but si kwa kila mtu. But investments, that's where maybe inatupikanga chenga kidogo. So, kwa investment, as you can see that hierarchy of investments, pale chini, employment, for you to be employed even at the county, you have to invest in education, you have to get some experience. So employment is also a form of investment, because you may invest in yourself. You have invested in your life. So that's why uko job. So ukishapata hiyo job, whether it's self-employment or umeajiriwa somewhere, that is an investment. Then there is land and assets. So there are so many people who are at that level. That's why huku chini iko wide. So there are people who are employed, wako hapo wanapata mshahara and all that. Maybe some have bought a piece of land where they live and all that. But now, as you go up, you realize that the thing becomes narrow. Inakuwa konde kidogo, because si wengi wako hapo, wale wengi wako chini, but sasa hapo katikati kuna watu wameweka pesa kwa SACCOS, wengine kwa banks. But that is not enough. It's good, but it's not enough. Because Utaweka kwa sako, good, utapata dividends and all that. You can borrow loans and all that. Then kuna pesa inakaa kwa bank inatumia kulend kwa wengine. So again, it's good to save. I'm not discrediting that, but as you go up, that nini inakuwa ndogo zaidi. That's why unaona kuna hiyo aspect ya passive income. Passive income ni sasa ni pesa inakufanyia kazi. So that's why you find that kuna vitu kama money market funds, kuna vitu kama agribusiness, kuna vitu kama, there are so many ways, you know, you can just invest your money so that money works for you. Ukiwa umeketi hapa unajua jioni kuna 1k itaingia, si hata hukuenda kusweat. So that is what we are calling passive income. So for you to be an effective financial planner, there are certain things that you have to look into. Number one, we msanii ama we artist, I've always said this, make sure you sort out your tax issues. File your returns. Si June inakaribia. Make sure hata kama ni nil return, ensure you're in good books with the Kenya Revenue ama with the taxman. Why? Because utakuwa tu hivi au hata una nini pin and all that. Siku moja unalipwa pesa, unaenda unapiga show kiasi, unapata 20 million. And these days they are so strict financial whatever regulations. So ukipata 20 million, the government will have to know. Watajua tu umepata hiyo pesa. So then they will come after you. Waanze kusema hujafile returns for 5 years, for 10 years. Fine ni pesa ngapi? 15, 16 million. So ile pesa yako yote inaenda na government. So but if you are correct ama ulianza vizuri, utapata maybe umelipa tax ya 1 million ama whatever amount. So make sure you sort your tax issues. Then ensure, I've talked about income versus spending. Ensure your expenditure is not more than your income. Don't live beyond your means. Don't spend on what you cannot afford. We have so many people today wanaishi kwa stress because wanakopa pesa kwa hizi apps and all that. Well, it's good. I don't want to be kusemekana nili discredit anything, but please try and live, at least try and balance. Usinini sana. Then ensure you have a budget. In fact, these days we have very nice budget planners online na kila mahali. When I went to Kisii, I trained and kuna kijana alini approach. He has a very nice, I think, sijui kama ni Excel platform ya kufanya budgeting. Unaiambia this is what I'm earning, so the thing will help you to populate how much you are supposed to spend on rent, how much you are supposed to spend on this and the other thing. So inakusaidia kufanya budget. Budget, as we will say much later, is telling your money where to go as opposed to wondering where it went. In fact, kuna verse ingine, is it Proverbs 23:5 inasema money has wings. So pesa inaweza toroka. Bible, enda usome Proverbs 23:5. Money can run away ukitreat vibaya. So you have to treat it well through budgeting so that you're able to tell it, pesa yangu umekuja, nataka uende hapa, nataka uende hapa, nataka uende hapa. But usiamke ushtuke hii pesa nilikuwa nao jana ilienda wapi, si ndio? Aya, we've talked about savings, 70-30 rule. That's what I was talking about, planning the budgeting, so that you make sure that your expenditures, ukipata pesa zimekula around 30%, it can exceed to 40 or something, your rent and all that. Then the rest you are able to save, you are able to pay for your further education and all that. Investment. So we've talked about agribusiness. I was telling some people, or I was giving an example of an artist, anaitwa Gilad, sijui Gilad ama Gilad something. That guy ni mwimbaji, but I have seen him doing so many things kwa agribusiness, kwa mtandao. So he's doing very well. So it doesn't mean ukipiga show jioni huwezi fanya kitu ingine mchana. So the other thing is the issue of your health. Again, I think someone mentioned here that unapata umenini, God forbid, something comes up, you know these things, and now hata hakuna pesa, mtu hana pesa hata ya kwenda kuangaliliwa hospitali and all that. So these days we have so many health insurance platforms. You can sort that out. We have even SHA, si ndio? Siko huku. So we have those things. Ensure that your family needs, basic needs are well sorted out. Then there is the aspect of personal development. Like when you came here, you came to gain knowledge. That's why we are saying you develop yourself. You get more knowledge and wisdom so that you are able to take yourself to the next level. Then as you do that, you are able to accumulate wealth bit by bit. Hata kama ni kidogo, but you are able to get what we are calling wealth accumulation, so that you have more assets than liabilities. Asset is something that can add more to your value in terms of finances. Liability takes away from that. For example, if you have a loan, it's a liability because you have to repay. We have debt management. Nilisema si mbaya kukopa, but kopa for a good purpose and reason. So, but ukikopa pia ensure you manage your debt. Usikope pesa halafu utupe SIM card ndio hao watu watala nani wasikutafute, si ndio? Watakupata tu finally. So the KRA and all that, na hao watu wanaitwa nani? Hawa mambo ya madeni. CRB, yes. So if you get a loan ama a small nini, make sure you repay. Then contract management, I think Sharon mentioned about getting proper contracts, legal advice, so that ukiingia kwa show ama ukiingia kwa kazi yako ya usanii, you have a contract, a legal contract, a binding contract yenye itakusaidia in case there are any disputes. Issues of stress, I can't emphasize that. Tumeona wa vijana wanakuwa na stress, depression, anxiety, suicide. So please, tusifike hapo. Let us, you know, God has blessed us with brains. Tusifike mahali ambapo hii vitu inakuja inatu stress na tunaenda up to take our lives. No, let us manage our finances that we get so that they are able to take us to the next level. So, and in conclusion, I told you this nini is short, the presentation. As we read those quotes, again, there is one theory of investment like that I like talking about. Inaitwa the greater fool theory. Unaweza andika ukienda kwa internet uta search the greater fool theory of investment. So what happens is that someone will come with, like I remember when I was doing my CPAs at YMCA hapa tu Meru town. People came up with a very nice idea, ilikuwa inaitwa sijui desi. So unaambiwa unapeana pesa yako 1000 ina multiply, then unaendea kesho sijui 2000, hiyo siku ingine unaambiwa inaweza multiply to 5000. Those kind of things, that theory addresses those things. And the reason why we are saying this is because there are so many enticing investment opportunities which are questionable. So when the deal is too good, think twice. Okay? And here what happens, as I conclude, I'll tell you a short story. So a story is told of a foreigner who came to a certain village. Akakuja akaambia watu ananunua monkeys. These monkeys, this guy was saying is exporting them. So akawaambia ananunua each monkey at 5,000 shillings ama hata 1,000. So these guys wakaingia, si msitu iko hapa, wakaingia kwa msitu wakaleta monkeys, akanunua. Then akakuja tena as the monkeys were the numbers were growing smaller, akawambia now bei imepanda, kesho ama next week ni 10,000. Wakaenda kwa msitu ama wapi, wakatafuta tena 10,000. The next time anawambia 30,000. So the price, you know, those of you who are doing economics and all that, you know the law of demand and supply. So demand imeenda juu but supply imeenda chini, so bei imefika 30,000. So wanapata 2-3. So what this guy did, akaambia mfanyikazi wake, I'm traveling abroad, so hawa watu watangazie I'll buy monkeys at 50,000 shillings nikitoka huko nimeenda. So no, I'll buy at 100,000. Okay, I'll buy at 100 ama hata 200,000. We can put a figure of 200,000. I'll buy at 200,000 nikienda ng'ambo nirudi. So watu wakazitafuta hazipatikani, but the price is high. So what happened, huyu mfanyikazi walikuwa wamepiga deal na huyu jamaa. Akakuja sasa mzungu ama the foreigner ameenda. So akaambia watu, akawaita akawaambia the villagers, my boss ameenda, so what we do, let hizi monkeys mulituzia 5,000, 10,000 and 30,000 ziko kwa cages. Juu ajui I can sell them to you at 150,000, then akikuja next week mumuuzia at 200,000. Hey, people are so excited. Wanauza mashamba, wanauza magari, wanauza shares, wanauza everything, school fees and all that. Kila mtu was lining up 150, 150, 150. Mwingine anataka 10, mwingine 20, mwingine 1. So they bought the monkeys at 150,000. So wakaenda, wakaambiwa siku fulani mzungu anakuja. So when the guys came, hakuna mtu. Walishika monkeys wakauza 5, 20 na 30. Sasa wameuza mashamba wakapewa the same monkeys at 150,000, but these guys have vanished. Wanawatafuta hakuna, washaenda na hiyo 150k. So that is what the greater fool theory talks about. So mtu asikuambie kuna kadir nini, make your legit money, tengeneza pesa vizuri, invest vizuri, you can talk to financial advisors and you'll go far. So finally, these are the quotes that niko nazo. The key to money is to stay invested. Formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Usiamke ushindwe ilienda wapi. Money grows on the tree of persistence. So it will not come, usiambiwe ati uamke halafu kesho uko milioni. Hapana, just be persistent in what you're doing and with God itakuwa sawa. So that's the end of my presentation. Nawashukuru sana kunisikiza.
Wow, we have learned something about money. Nyi mulisikia nini? Kuhusu pesa? Wapi Mike? Mtu wa Mike ako wapi? Kuja upeane huku. Hiyo table ya mwisho kule. What did you hear about money? You didn't pick anything.
Hello.
Hi.
We have learned a lot of things kuhusu pesa. Ukishika pesa learn kuinvest. Usikue mtu wa uko wapi tena nikupigisha mavitu. Invest kwanza, alafu hizo zitakuja. Alafu kitu kingine nimelearn. Tukiuza monkey tusinunue na 150.
Uko karibu kuenda kushika monkey ya wenyewe. Ukiuza monkey usinunue na 150. Anybody else this side? Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to remind you about the greater fools theory.
Mm-hmm.
Just make clean money in everything that you are doing. Usidanganywe, baadaye ukuje kulia. Then last, Proverbs 23 and verse 5. Money as wings. Kishika pesa, tumia vizuri. Asante.
Wow, huyo
My
ametusamia
name
hapo
is
vizuri.
MC Moshiri from Maua.
Wonderful. Tumpe makofi. Mesema pesa iko na mabawa, ukiishika itumie vizuri, si ndio? Okay, now we can have the question and answer session. Where is my panel? George, hata Kiogora kuja huku. Unaweza ulizwa maswali ya pesa nishindwe kujibu. Hata mi nimesikia tu pesa iko na mabawa. Sitaki itoroke. Na alituambia pia pesa haitaki kelele, si ndio? And it's true, those who don't have money hawapigangi kelele, they don't show. The ones who make noise don't have. So you've seen that? Yeah. Yes, Karani. Where is Kaindo? Alex? Ati anangojea nimnunulie lunch, anajifanya nguvu imeisha. Alex is around.
Alex not around.
He's not around. Okay. Yeah, I want us to do a question and answer time kabla tumalize. Thank you, Elijah. Where are the questions? Let me see your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuanze na hizo.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon. Ken Lick the Sick Bullet. I have a question regarding music. Can I be able to protect my music on audio form without the video?
Yes. I've already answered you, yes.
Thank you.
When you get into the portal and our IT person will help you, if it's just an audio, unaeka sound recording. If it is a video, unaeka audio visual. But yes, you can protect. The sound recording is a different work from the video. Any other question? Niliona moja hapa. Oh, okay.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Kwa majina ni Brian Mwanda Karodi. I'm a writer. So my question is, the copyright, hizo rights za copyright zinakaa all your lifetime and 50 years after you die. So I was asking, can you renew after umekufa 50 years?
No, you cannot renew copyright.
Watoto wako.
No, you cannot renew. Once umekufa 50 years imepita, ikisha expire it comes into the public domain na hiyo song yako inaweza tumika. That's the reason why now we use hymns. Ukiangalia hymn books utaona it was written 18 whatever. It means hiyo time ilisha pita. You cannot renew copyright. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Frank, aka DJ Vam the 254.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Meru DJ, corporates and events DJ. My question is to the copyright team. Mostly when we do our mixtapes and our events.
Oh, you're a DJ?
Yes, sir. Oh,
Okay.
yes, madam. I'm sorry. Yeah, when we do our events, mostly we are struck by copyright and infringement of the rights. And I don't know, as I create, I'm a DJ and I'm an artist, but I play music that belongs to other people. And most of them have copyright and such. So how can I as a DJ also market my mixes or something without getting banned for using other people's content?
Okay. Kaindo, you've heard that one. Inspector, uko na pingu karibu. Huyo ametuambia yeye ni infringer. Yes, next.
Okay, my name is John. I'm a software engineer. So I have three questions on software engineering. One is, are there specific laws? Are there specific copy laws or guidelines for software engineers and developers? The second question is, if software it's developed you
In collaboration.
Yeah, in collaboration.
Mm.
Who holds the copyrights? Then the third question is, how can I report an individual or a company violating my copyrights?
Yeah. Mumesikia hizo? How can he report an individual or a company violating his copyright? Karan, you can take that. You've had the others. He's a software engineer, so he wants to know if it's a collabo work, who owns the copyright?
Good afternoon.
Ala, mnakimbisha syllabus bwana. Ushafika huko? Okay.
Okay, Samuel Karanja, a junior software engineer, and my question is, how do you go about protecting open source code that integrates third-party APIs?
You've understood the question? Like, you have gotten the source codes from open source.
For instance, a Web3 developer creating a software that inahusu blockchain.
Aya, munitafutie Njoroge or Mushila. Kecobo team, tafuteni Njoroge na Mushila. Okay, thank you. I'm looking for IT. Hizo ni ngapi? Aya, umeamua kuconcentrate huku kwanza. Sawa.
Asalamu alaikum. Nauliza swali moja.
Uliza.
I'm incorporating someone's song in my art piece.
In your art piece?
Yes, in
art
my
piece ni nini?
Let's say it's a story
Aha.
for educational purposes.
Aha.
Am I still infringing if I've done the song in an acoustic manner?
Okay.
Yes.
Umeshika hiyo? One last one then tujibu hizo kwanza. We Robert, unani confuse. Nilitaka kuenda na mpango. Sasa unaenda tu everywhere. Give one last person, then we answer that set, then we come back.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Morris, a software engineer and CEO of a company called Limited in Meru. My question is, I can see you're focused more of music. What about us as software engineers? How can we copyright our source code as he has asked? How can we copyright our website in everything that we have done? Another question I want to second, John. He has asked, we usually do website system software, mobile apps for corporates. And sometimes you see once you have done the work, you see they are asking you for the source code. Now the work is you have done, but on the contract you didn't showcase or tell that the source code will belong to the client. So we want to know, how can we copyright our code? Yes, thank you.
Yes, you are protected for copyright. And what you register is the source code. That is what you register. We said you own the copyright, except when you have been employed as a software engineer. It means every work you're churning out belongs to the copyright belongs to the company. If your contract of employment says you have been employed as a software engineer to create source code and whatever programs for this, it means everything you do while you work is for the company under employment. Or if it's a commissioned work, I come, I say, I'm looking for somebody to do 1, 2, 3 for an event or for a particular thing. You tell me, I'll charge you 500K, nikulipe utengeneze. Me, the commissioner, will own the copyright. But anything else you make in your everyday life as a software engineer belongs to you. And yes, you can protect your source code. Kecobo team, kindly, I need Njoroge or Edwin, one of them. Please. Yes, so I want us, okay. I wanted us to answer that set. Okay, one last one.
Thank you so much. I can be added on that set. My name is Boniface Monene, a civil engineer working at Ecosense Construction Company, and also a volunteer at Tukuze Africa Foundation. As a civil engineer, our company, we usually do architectural designs, and we have images of renders that we develop. Okay, in our company, we have a contract form that our clients sign. We have ownership clause, but I'm pretty sure that's not so much legal in terms of maybe code, I don't know, but we usually have a contract that the client sign. So who should own the rights for the images once we render? And also, when we post our images on our socials, you'll find some other guys taking the images and posting as if it's theirs, but you see exactly this the work that we did. So how do we go about that? The second thing is on music. I'm not a musician, but I saw that when you're talking about a company getting your music, maybe to do a promotion to one of their products or something, what if they do a parody of, I've been seeing different parodies. The music sounds similar to the original one, but not the original one. So how does that go? That maybe might help the artist. Then another question, a quick one. We are currently in an AI era, and you might find that artificial intelligence itself can create different articles, a blog, a poem, music. So how do we deal with the originality and also the ownership part of it? And then at Tukuze Africa, we work with high school students mostly to develop interest towards STEM education, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we have students creating and coming up with innovations and ideas that they're developing themselves, but they're not able to bring out the product with them. Actually, this May 24th, we have partnered with ASK, the Agricultural Society of Kenya, Meru National Show, whereby we have 120 students presenting 60 projects, and we want to give them an opportunity to exhibit to the real world and try to come up with great products from the innovations. And on 24th now, we wanted to train them on patenting the innovations, owning the intellectual property rights, and also learning how to pitch the investors and developing the innovations into product. Remember, these are high school students, and we also have some junior secondary students who have their innovations. And we would really like Kenya Corporate Board maybe to partner also with us. I've learned about the financial management, which is part of what we wanted to train them. And I really like the presenter, Mr. Kecobo, who did some really good job. And I'm pretty sure they could help us also learning on intellectual properties. You could help us in training the students on that. And also how can an under 18 patent their own innovations? Because they have really great ideas, but they are. Thank you so much.
Okay. On the issue of patenting, we are not the ones that register patents, it's KIPI, but they are our sister organization that we work together. So you can talk to me after this, we exchange contact and put you in touch with KIPI, with training, even having Kiogora or anybody else from copyright that we can arrange. So you can talk to me after this. I wanted the guy who talked about source, open source, something. Yeah, I want you to ask that question so that he can answer. He was not in the room, so he can get what you wanted to find out.
Again, my name is Sanaa Karanja. My question was, how does copyright law handle software that integrates third-party libraries and APIs? And some of these third-party libraries have an open source code. How does the copyright law handle that?
Come. Let me get another mic. Yeah.
Hi, sasa Sam. Okay, so for the third party I'm assuming ziko open source. So iko free, so hakuna infringement hapo. So easily I can say that hakuna any issue. But if it's your work, ya website yako, maybe ume integrate na a payment gateway yenye si ya Safaricom, for whatever reason you do that, I would say, well, you just protect your own work. So hizo integrations ni someone else's work, unless ume infringe on hizo vitu, maybe unatumia na hujalipia or something. Okay.
Okay, I can add that we have works that are on open source, Yeah, that means that you can use for without paying or for free, or some that are under what we call the Creative Commons license. So ukienda kama Getty Images, if you're looking for photos online, if you find Getty Images, they are under Creative Commons license. It means somebody has already paid for this license, so you can use them for free. But remember, they always have a watermark. So even when you use that photo, it will have a watermark for Getty Images, to just tell you it belongs to this, but somebody has already paid, meaning you don't have to pay again. But the rule of thumb is, whenever you go online to find anything online, assume it is copyright protected unless you have established otherwise. Okay? And if you have established otherwise, the other rule of thumb for copyright is you ask for permission or you pay for a license. So number one, we assume everything, even if we found it online, even if you can download it, assume it's copyright protected, either ask for permission or pay for a license. Okay, I don't know in which order. Do you have any questions around money? Keep them. Keogora is here. We can start with that.
Mic holder, so I'll go first. So I think the first few have been responded. Can I protect audio without video? That has been responded because there is the sound recording in itself is a copyright work. Then the audio visual is a copyright work. So you can register, if you have a sound recording but you intend to produce a video later, you can register the sound recording separately at audio visual once you're done with it, with the video. Brian, the writer, whether you can extend the years you can renew, I think that was responded, but I want to add that is different from trademark. For a trademark, for those who would wish to register their trademark or their stage names as trademarks with keeping, after every 10 years, you renew your trademark. So you can actually own a trademark indefinitely for hundreds of years if you keep renewing after every 10 years, unlike patents and copyright, which is 50 years after the end of the year you die, then it goes into public domain. Frank, the Meru DJ, about mixtapes. Mixtapes, what I believe they do is that you get music from different people, then you synchronize them, then maybe you upload them somewhere or you play them in an event. The simple answer is that you need consent of the music right holders. That is obvious. You need, because you are reproducing their music. So for you to mix and create what I may call a derivative work or a separate work that mixes a lot of songs or synchronized, you need the permission of each of the music right holders that you are using. We have had people actually complaining that you're using my music, you haven't gotten my my permission. So as a DJ, you need permission to do that.
Kind of let me add before you finish on the DJ.
Sure, go ahead.
You need permission or a license. If you're playing in a club that has already paid for a license, then you're covered. But if you're putting that on a CD to promote and to sell or online, in fact, for some artists who are known, YouTube will not monetize for you your video. They will either give the money to the person they know or they'll give you a copyright strike. So whatever you do, you just know the work of a DJ. Ndio nilikuwa nauliza kama ule wapingu wako hapa. You need permission or you pay for a license.
Yeah, sure. Mixing itself is a talent. So once you get the permission or license to do that, in your mix, that mix you have done, you own copyright in it. This is the talent, but you need the permission or license. John Software, I think that was responded, but I highlight that whether there are specific laws on software development. On copyright, we have specific provisions that provide for protection of software development developers as a copyright work. So once you have created your software, there is the source code. It has been explained that the source code, you own the copyright. You can submit, and I believe Shira probably will explain how do you submit an application for a software. Do you need what screenshots? How do you submit? Is it in PDF form? I think you'll expound on that briefly. But
actually, Mushila will be out there, so you can see him, so he can give you the requirements for submitting for the software application. Yeah, you can also register your website. Whoever said they have a website, yeah, he'll also guide you on how you can do that. Or any other work. He's saying, or any other work, music, poems.
Yeah, sure. So, but you can protect the source code. You may decide to submit the whole of it or the most critical ones. So he'll explain to that. So if you are developing a software in collaboration, who owns the copyright? Remember, you can be co-authors or co-owners of the copyright in the software. It is very important for you to have a contract that explains or clearly enumerates who owns the copyright. You own equal shares. Does one person own a higher share than the other? It is clear for you to come up with the share ownership. And when you go to the system, like you're going to see when you are submitting your application, there is a percentage of ownership. So the author, one person owns how much percent, the other person owns how much percent. So there is that distinction of ownership where the ownership is co-owned, but there can be co-ownership or co-owners where they can own separately. Okay, that is it. I think the one by Samuel Karaji is the one that responded by Moshe. There is someone, so I think my handwriting. For education purposes, somebody saying you put somebody's song. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
He said that you put someone's song in your artistic work, but for educational purposes. Yeah.
That falls under exemptions and limitations, but it has to be for educational purposes by an educational institution that is organized
Under the Education Act.
By the Education Act.
Mm.
And you must acknowledge the author. If it is you as an individual, you're not recognized as an institution, and probably it is for commercial purposes, then you may need permission or license from the copyright holder. Or software on software focus on. I agree. We tend to. It's not that we tend to, but I think most of the copyright owners who are more aggressive are in the music industry. That is why we feel that we tend to lean on music. However, for copyright at Kecobo, we deal with all copyright works, maybe visual works that you saw here, the drawings, music, software, website, mobile applications are actually protected. And like we say, the procedure will be explained.
Kind of, there was a question on architectural design.
Yes, that is actually the one I'm seeing by Boniface Monen. Architectural designs are protected as copyright work, as literary works. So these designs, these drawings are artistic works which are protected under copyright. So when you are an architectural designer, you create those designs. Of course, they are protected as soon as you create them, and you can submit them for registration as a copyright work so that you can have evidence of ownership with the Kenya Copyright Board. So you own those designs. You own images if you take photographs or you develop images by use of computer or something like that. You own copyright in those images. How do you protect them? One is by registration, two by monitoring how they are being used, and three, if there is a use that you haven't authorized or licensed, you can take action.
Kind of, one of the questions he asked on that, he works for a company that does that. So if I come as a client na niwaambie nichore nyumba and they draw for me, most of the clients tend to feel they own the design. So who owns that design?
That will depend with the contract, and like you mentioned, the usual contracts. But if you have not made any provision for ownership, then you, the creator, would own that. But remember, if a client comes to you, he has paid you, that becomes a commissioned work.
Yeah.
So the person who has paid you owns the copyright in those designs. If the agreement was that you develop, he pays you, even in the absence of anything in the contract, automatically that work will belong to the client who commissioned you to do that work. So it is very important when you are getting into the contracts to include that clause. Who owns the copyright or the copyright in that in those designs? But ideally, in your scenario, client to do what?
A client just tells you, I want 3-bedroom design, and then they don't have the idea of exactly how it's coming out. So I'm going to create it from my own ideation.
Yeah, but are they paying?
Yeah, they are paying, but I'm not charging out for them to own it. So can they now sell the same plan?
You need to make that distinction while you're talking to the client from the beginning, okay? And that will inform how you price that work. Sindio, if you know that I'm going to own the design, you'll price it differently. But if it's a commissioned work, me, I can't draw a house, but I want to build. Nobody says I can't own a house. I will have to get somebody to draw, isn't it? So if it's a commissioned work, I own the copyright. But now you need to know how to price it, remembering that I will own the copyright. But I cannot reproduce it, sell it, I don't know, take that design to sell or no. If it's for my use, I want to build this house, that's okay. But the moment I start to sell it or I don't know, do what, all these other things, that's a problem. Yeah. And remember, still, even when I'm building it, it will be a design by you. I won't say it's mine because then I own it. No. It will still be by you. So I'll have to acknowledge you. But I'm not allowed to use it, sell it, and give other people. No, I'm not allowed. Yeah? No. If I own the copyright, you cannot sell that same design again. Okay? Once I have commissioned the work, I've paid for it, and I own the copyright, you cannot sell it to another client. You will need to create for the other client their own design. Yeah. But we can also assist with the contracts. Look at the contracts that you have to see that zinaambatana na the copyright laws, so that whatever contracts you're having are also legal, yeah, for your clients.
Thank you, Sharon. I think the bottom line is that contracts, clear contracts that enumerate what
Who owns what?
Who owns what is very important. Without that, you end up having problems. So the other question that
Something about AI, originality, and ownership.
Yeah, on AI. Yeah. But of course, you know how AI works. It is a work that is autonomously created. There is no human author. So when I was presenting here, I said an author can only be a human being.
Or a legal entity.
A legal person. So the only person who can author a work is human being. So in this case now becoming, of course, when AI, you tell it, make for me a beat that is like a reggae. So remember, it will use a lot of content online and create a unique one. But there's no author. So in Kenyan position is that work is not copyright protected. AI generated work. Mr. Karani will add on to that. There's something else. The last one I'll add is on you deal with students who are below 18. They invest something. So you're asking whether they can own the patent therein, the invention therein. Kipi does the registration on industrial design such as patents like Sharon mentioned. Of course, an inventor can be a minor invention, but now the ownership and the management of the IP right may have to be done by an adult. Because when you come to register, for example, for a copyright, you are going to be asked for an ID number. A minor may not have. So the inventor will be identified as the minor. And I think when you look at history, we have a lot of inventors who are minors. You go to the US, they are very young people, very young kids who are inventors. But those inventions are managed by an adult person who is going to manage those, a parent or a guardian will manage that. So it is possible for that to be identified as an event, but management of those rights will have to be done by an adult.
Yeah, we can also get you in touch with Kenya Innovation Agency. I know even Kipi had given a waiver for students, and mostly was from Science Congress and all this, yeah, for registering their patents for the innovations that they come up with. So we can help you to get in touch with those people and see how your students can be helped. Mr. Karani.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Earlier on, when we were discussing, asking questions in regards to software, there's one who asked, how do we report individuals who infringe software?
Yes.
On software. So basically, just like all the other works, Kenya Corporate Board investigation departments usually also investigates the software infringement. So for you as the works owner, I think what you should provide to the investigators should be when you come to the office, you'll provide the source code that will be looked at by the ICT department to ensure that indeed the work you are reporting to be infringed indeed is yours. If it also is a plus if you have already registered your work with Kecobo, and since you are claiming that your works, the software has been infringed, it's up to you to also provide to us that where did you see it? Maybe was it being advertised online? In what platform? Yeah, we usually it goes a long way if you can have a screenshot of where, if it was online or Facebook or anything, of where it was being advertised or being offered. Additional information will be like the URL, those codes at the top will provide the investigators room to work with you. In regards to AI, kind of as I elaborated on it, I can also add on that is that even on other jurisdictions, like recently on the US, I think one of their Supreme Courts indicated that they only acknowledge works that have been created by humans, by a human being, and legal entities, as Madam has indicated. So it's almost like it's international doctrine now that as much as AI is in play, works developed by AI can only be acknowledged to a human being. In regards to pitching of works, most creative fall, I think it's due to the hype. Maybe a well-developed telecommunication company, you name them, comes to you and offers to use your software. So without thinking, in that hype, you give them everything, your source code, and without protecting yourself. What we usually advise, and the legal department can offer those services, is having a non-disclosure agreement with them before you pitch your software to them. Yeah, ensure you have a non-disclosure maybe with those big brands, the telecommunication company, so that in the event that your discussions between you and them fall and you don't proceed with the business, they do not use your ideas and what you have invented or what you have exposed to them in other businesses. Yeah. So because mostly we see that young creatives, unaona big company inakuja, we are giving you 1 million. Yeah. Unaenda unampatia kila kitu, unaonyesha hivi ndo nilifanya hivi ndo hivi na hivi, and then wakwambia we'll get back to you. After 1 month, they are not picking up your calls. Yeah, the next month, unaona while you are seated on TV, unaona this huge brand wametumia your idea, the concept that you gave them, the software you shared with them, even if it's the music, even if it's a story you shared with them, ndio hiyo wametumia, wametengeneza an advert, they are selling a software, sijui what. Yeah, you start crying. Now it's you who will expose kazi yako without protecting yourself. So when you are going to pitch, yeah, since it's business, yeah, you're out to make money. Invest yourself. Tumia pesa kutafuta pesa. Yeah, look for a lawyer. Let him draft a non-disclosure agreement before you go pitching to other people. Yeah, see, these people, these big companies, wajatengeneza pesa because they are that good. Yeah, wametengeneza pesa because they know how to kucheza na watu na kupiga watu character kabisa. Yeah. So that's one thing you should look out for. And then in regards to parodies, we have been told about the exceptions in terms of even in education works that are being used in the education setup. Even parodies, when you are critiquing somebody's work, yeah, it falls under that. We have seen it on YouTube. Many people love those video reaction. Yeah, have you seen that? Yeah, unajiuliza kwa nini kwa video reaction the video wanakanga wakistop wana discuss a certain part, wanaendelea, wana play, wana stop. That's the part where they are critiquing the work. Yeah, so you cannot play the whole song be continuous, then you are not critiquing on it. So you must have like a stop, critique a certain segment, give out your opinion, how you see the pitch of the musician, that kind of thing. Yeah, even if it's a literary work there that is being looked into, they can read a passage, critique on that, then go to the next passage. So that falls under exceptions and limitations. Thank you.
Yeah, to add, parody is also under exceptions and limitations. A parody is like when you imitate the work of somebody for comical effect, like what Erico Mondi does with the songs. There's also another guy who used to do a lot of parodies. Sijui alienda wapi? Kajairo? Yes. Like you will play somebody's song, but the person you're seeing is this comedian. They are trying to imitate their actions, exaggerate it for comic effect. That's under exceptions and limitations. However, there have been debates internationally about that, because some of those parody videos will make money. They'll make a lot of money. So they have debated about it. But in Kenya, in the Copyright Act, parody falls under exceptions and limitations, meaning you can use somebody's song for parody. I want us to take the other set of questions before we finish. We need to get out of here because we'll be chased away. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Further to what you've been told, I know because of the time constraint, we may not exhaust the topic on copyright. If you go to our website, there is a lot of educational materials.
Even YouTube.
Short videos. You can learn a lot on any topic about copyright. Perhaps there is one thing I can add about what Boniface was talking about having an event on 24th, whereby the young people who are coming. When I'm seated here, I see a lot of resources. And myself, I was coming on the issue of finance to back up Guantai. When I sit here, I see a lot of resources because young people are looking for capital, and capital you get it in two forms. You get it in equity, you also get it into debt. But you find many young people may not realize that when you are seated here, there is a lot of synergies that we can get from each other. Perhaps before you get out of this place, you can form a WhatsApp group that can help us to bring our ideas together, to bring our capitals together, because here there is a lot of equity. For you to get a debt or a loan, you perhaps need a collateral. That's why perhaps you need your corporate certificate, which at some point can guarantee you to get that loan or a debt. But when maybe you can form small contributions, that is your equity. And to me, that is the best form of capital that you can start with. That can form your seed capital. Thank you.
Thank you. I had some questions around here. I don't remember. Yeah, the guy in black coat there. He had his hand up from Kitambo. Upper. Here. He had his hand up first, even before we began. Yeah, let's keep our questions short so we redeem our time.
My name is Brian Kimathi, and I have a question on writers, especially those who use social media platforms for promoting their work. You find a scenario whereby you've posted your write-up, but someone directly copies it with no reference or attribute. What do you do with such a situation?
You can use technological protection measures like disabling the right click where someone cannot download or copy paste, or put a PDF that cannot be copy pasted. That is how you try to protect yourself. But also, if somebody has infringed on your right, you have a right to come and complain, and we'll guide you on how to get redress. But when you put your work online, you need to protect it. And part of the ways we do that is using technological protection measures. And the Act has already provided that if someone goes around it, circumvents, of course, there are people like him, the hackers, who can go around the measures you have put. But try to put the measures there that nobody can be able to download your work, yeah, online. Your friend had a question, the guy next to you. Who was that? Okay, we can go back there, and then you come to this table.
My name is Franklin.
Yes.
I'm a videographer.
Mm-hmm.
My question was on streaming.
Streaming.
Yeah, for instance, the live stream I'm seeing here, and I want to restream it.
Ah. Kaindo, can he restream what he's seeing here? His question is on streaming. Here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Daniel Monene. You may call me Nesh. First, let me begin by thanking you for coming. It's been very enlightening. Much of my questions have been already answered,
Okay.
but I have follow-up. Does Kecobo facilitate contracts? Number two, if, for example, someone has stolen your work, like you were speaking of at the beginning, and they go and register for copyrights for it, is there channels for appeal? Number three, we were told that when you're using a work for educational purposes, you must be a registered educational institute. Does the same apply for scientific research? And the third question goes to finance. I wanted you to touch a little bit on government securities. Thank you.
Okay. Say something about government securities. Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Renat. I'm a visual pencil artist.
Pencil artist. Okay.
Yeah. But my question is about tech science.
About?
Tech.
Tech?
Yeah.
Tech what?
IT.
Oh, uh-huh.
I'm also a IT person. My question is about, let's say that you have created a tool in the tech sector, and the tool, someone modifies it using AI. Can you see that you are the owner of the tool, and maybe you report?
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my question is, when it comes to buying or selling my idea back to the movie that will buy the painting, so it will come a point where I need to sell the copyright, but I don't know if I'll still be earning from them. Though the question on streaming, this movie on Netflix will be streamed severally. How can I be able to ensure this 50-year period that I'm still on the royalties and the copyrights will not be infringed?
Did I see another hand? There. Give him, then you give him.
Thank you. I just wanted to add something concerning live streaming and still ask a question. What requirement are we supposed to have when we want to include an audio in a live stream? Because sometimes when we are live streaming events, when the live feed is on, sometimes this is stopped when we include an audio.
Yeah, if you include like music that is not yours, you need permission. If you don't have permission, you cut it out of your live stream. Okay? You need permission if you're going to include, say, a song, an audio song in your live stream. You need to cut that bit out. Even if you don't, some of the platforms will mute you. Yeah, so you need permission. If you don't have the permission, you cut it out. If you don't cut it out, some platforms will mute your live stream. Yes, the guy in the red cape.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Charles. I'm a junior interior designer.
Why junior?
because I'm still developing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a question,
Mm.
but let me begin this way. Not all musicians have studied music, and my friend there was talking about he is a civil engineer,
Yeah.
but I have, let me say, I have a talent in designing, in designing. So, and I'm technically I've not studied for the for the course, but I have a talent in that. So I have a problem in marketing the stuff that I do. So how can I go about this? Because you have to show a client the work that you have done and all that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there was a question on this table. Adongo, but you Mike.
Hello.
Hey.
My question was on this paper. It's the Mkataba wa Huduma paper. It's about the payments. Or rather, I would like the clarification of the usajili wa kimiliki kwa kila kazi na maombi ya kurekodi leseni au kazi katika register ya kimiliki. And the other question was,
What is your question?
My question was the clarification on both because they are contradicting in a bit. Like nasema ni usajili wa hakimiliki kwa kila kazi, alafu hapo chini ni maombi ya kurekodi leseni au kazi katika register ya kimiliki.
You don't understand what it means, or what is your question?
I don't understand the meaning of the two.
I said now we are not charging for registration, yeah? But that is our service charter, just talking about the services that we give. So there's registration, and there are other services, licensing, recording a license, if you have a license, yeah? All that, there was some charges we used to give, but now we have waived the charges for now because the government gave a directive to use the government pay bill, but we had not put that on our portal yet. So for now, registration is free.
So my question is,
Yeah.
they look the same. Like
They look the same.
Yeah.
They must be different. I'm not good with Kiswahili Sanifu, but they're speaking to different things. Registration of copyright. Then the other one you said it.
Maombi ya kurekodi leseni au kazi katika
Yes,
register.
if you want to record a license, you have given someone a license. The Copyright Act says that you need to come and record the license with us. We were charging for that service, but I think the amount is there. But right now we are not yet charging for that.
Okay, thank you.
So if you have given someone a license to use your work, you will need to come and record that license with us.
My last question is, can you really use the license to guarantee a loan from the bank to reinvest back into the music business?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, someone will answer that. Okay, we have very little time. Our time is gone. As you can see, Mutuku is chasing me away from here because he has another plan. But also the hotel will chase us away because we only booked for a certain time, yeah? But while we are having tea, there's tea at the ground floor for you. While we're having tea, feel free to interact with us also. And you can continue to ask your questions. You can get our contacts and still continue to send email or call with your questions, yeah? So this relationship is growing. It doesn't end here. But with that, let them answer the questions so that we can save our time. Sarah, we need to save time. It's burning you, kabisa.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, sorry nilienda nje kidogo, but nimerudi, but I still had my question on my book. Okay, first of all, as kuna wale content creator, kuna wale ni musician like me, ni actor, or sometimes to start inakuanga ni is not an easy task for anyone. We want to grow, we want to be famous, we want to earn. Those are the key things that inafanya tunaingia kwa hizi vitu, but unapata most of us we have challenges, ndio like msee akitaka kutengenezea YouTube or content you have to pay, and most of the time unapata youth we don't have that much money.
Sarah,
for example, to
what
start.
is your question?
Nataka kwanza niseme the problem and then niulize
I
question.
want you to ask the
ya
question.
pili, ngoja madam, kindly give me, this is an opportunity nimepata, wacha tu niseme initoke. Si ndio? Wacha tu niseme initoke. Okay, my question is, for example, venye saizi mimi ni actor and I want to grow. Can you guys connect me to other actors, for example, or sell me out for me to grow? Is my question now clear?
Yes.
Aya, asante.
Yes, your question is clear. Can Kecobo assist to connect her with people within her industry so that she can grow? We start from where? Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
I'll be pretty quickly.
Mm.
I think there was a question again for Quantai. So, Brian, writers who use social media platforms. I did mention that if you're using social media as a writer, you have blogs. Those blogs, because you have written content, are copyright works. Also, for them, they are specifically protected as copyright works. So you can use the strategies that Sharon has mentioned. TPMs, you can use passwords, you can create accounts to respond to that. But any person who uses that content to create another content infringes on your work. We recently had a complaint at which we managed to mediate with my colleague Emily Cheriot, who is seated at the far end. We did mediate that. Somebody had put out a story on the Facebook wall. Then one of the media houses took it and also did a story, an exact story, and used photographs on it. So we were able to mediate that, and I think there was a payment that was actually paid. So it is an infringement, but you can use those strategies. Live stream, I'm going to respond these as I respond to all the questions on the live streams. Remember, a live stream is live. So it is being recorded or it is being fixed as it happens. So like the ones that is happening, there is no copyright work until it is recorded and fixed. So copyright will subsist once the recording is done. So if you are live streaming that, remember, you don't own the signal. You're just using your account probably to what I may call to stream, which is synonymous probably to broadcasting, to broadcast. There is the person who owns the broadcast. The platform owner owns the streaming service. So for you, you are just, you're actually using their platform to stream. But once it is fixed, you own the content. Once you stop the recording and the recording itself, you own that recording. So there cannot be subsequent reproduction or sharing of that streaming. But streaming, I think even in our act, there are some gaps which you are trying to address on how do you deal with streaming online. When somebody, for example, you have an event, you have a play that is supposed to happen here. There are people who have paid, but then you are streaming. There are people who have probably paid or bought, I don't know, streaming access. Maybe there is a link to access that. So if somebody else accesses that, how do you deal with it? But if there is that, then you can actually stop them. The act is trying to provide for ways in which you can actually stop people who don't have the permission or the license to access your streaming content online. So there is, the Copyright Act is trying to address that. But there are two things: the streaming itself, which is a broadcast, and the content. You own the content once it is fixed. AI, again, I'll mention that somebody creates a tool and then somebody modifies it through AI. Can you say that you own the tool? First of all, if it is a tool, it is a computer program itself, or that tool, you own the copyright in that tool. What AI does, AI can create another tool by scanning the internet, and probably to pick you as one of them and uses your content. That is where the gap and the copyright is, because ideally we are saying this AI should not use your work without permission. But the Copyright Act, as we speak, is still silent. But there should be a thing that prevents AI from using your work without consent. But the Act, as we speak, is silent on that. AI is a big debate as we speak. Selling the idea, if you sell your art piece, like I said, you are selling the physical thing. You're not selling the rights. But you are right to say there may come a time when you sell or license or assign your rights. So you may sell that art piece, but then you say, I'm also selling the right to reproduce. That means the person you have sold to can reproduce. So it will depend with the contract. Yes, you can sell the physical, and you can also sell the rights. in it. You can sell everything. So that will depend on your contract. What exactly do you want to sell? And that will actually inform your price. So if you are selling just the physical, the price may be low. If you are selling other rights, then the price, of course, will be high in general. So can I leave the rest to answer that?
So there's a gentleman that has asked if you can use the copyright as collateral to access credit. Yes, you can. Under the Movable Property Security Rights Act of 2027 acknowledges intellectual property as as a collateral to access credit. 2017, sorry, 2017.
Thank you. There is one question on finance, government securities by Nesh, I think. So briefly, what I can say is that the securities, rather in finance or in investment, we say there is a risk-return trade-off. So they are the risk, they are the required rate of return. So government securities are secure, so they are more of risk-free. So hakuna risk ati unaweza poteza pesa yako. So but in government securities we have government bonds and government bills or treasury bills. Treasury bills are short-term in nature. Treasury bonds are long-term in nature. So treasury bonds, government will sell them to raise money for infrastructure like roads, airport construction, and all that. So what happens is that you can visit central bank, hapa Meru kuna central bank, or their website. You do the whatever, you can create a profile and all that. Then you are able to do it by yourself. If not, you can visit even an investor, or I mean an investment advisor. But the best thing is to go there yourself, the central bank. They create a nini for you, the platform or the account. Then you are able to invest as low even as 3,000 shillings with that through your account. And those things, as I have said, they are secure. There is no risk. Thank you.
Maybe to George's point, I think what he was speaking about was Emakiba. I think walitoa, but now CBK. Okay, sifanyi with CBK, but I nimeeka pesa huko. Kuna CBK DAO, DHOW. It's a mobile application. I think the minimum amount ni 50,000. So ukifika bei ni hivyo. It works like a bid bond, but again, as much as ni risk free, it's also tax free. I think rate ni between 10 to 14% up. So it's the best in the market. So as much as unafundisha how to make this money, we also need to highlight on how to keep it safe as well. And then one more on the AI. AI is a very sticky situation. I think what needs to happen here, you need to prove who you infringe, whether you use AI or not. If you can prove a huge percentage, a very significant threshold of your work has been done by someone else, I think hapo kunaweza kuwa na case if we move ahead.
Thank you. Please allow us to end this training. Have you learned something? Creatives of Meru, have you learned something? I have a few announcements to make. One, we'll have a photo session at the entrance of the hotel downstairs. Then the creatives, you also have some tea downstairs as you leave. When you came, you registered. I hope you wrote the right number. That's the number we'll use to refund your transport. You don't have to sit and wait for it. Itakupata ukitembea. Sawa. It will come. Relax. So just write your number. We will leave. Then we will get an M-Pesa message. If you don't, you will let us know so we can sort you out. We want to appreciate the people that have been active on social media. Mutuku, uliambia watu utawapea airtime. Uko sawa, you are ready. Mumeona the person to see. Ndio huyo. We want to appreciate, hey, sijui kama hii ni Malo or Mato. Malo Sandre. On IG. On X. Wise One. Ako wapi Wise One? Msimame, nikikuita unasimama. Hii sijui kama mmeandika Malo. Huyo ndi Wise One or Malo? Wise One. Ai, makofi kwake. Wise one amekuwa active on X. On FB Purity Muyoka. Sijui kama ako hapa. On YouTube Mohamed Amin. Simama tupigie makofi. We appreciate you for what you're doing online. Mutuku, umeona watu wakupea airtime? Mwende kuona Mutuku, you get a airtime, eh? Thank you so much. We want to appreciate you. Before we pray and leave, Mr. Ireri, I don't know if you have any closing remarks, just a minute, and then we can pray and leave. We are going to have photo session, remember, outside. From here, we'll all go have a photo session as a group. Then you'll have your tea downstairs. Mr. Ireri, any closing remarks for us? Karibu.
Hello. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Sharon. I want to reiterate the county's appreciation of Kenya Copyright Board, and I believe even our creatives here appreciate your efforts and the knowledge that you've impacted onto us. Of late, this is the second session that we've had with you. Although the other one was organized by the State Department of Culture, we are very, very happy that this one was exclusively Kecobo's effort. We look forward to more partnerships with you, and next time kindly look for time to pay a courtesy call to our governor when you come around, so that he knows what we are doing for our people. And even now, it's not too late. Before you leave Meru, it would be a pleasure for you to pay a courtesy call to the governor's office, so that he also can tell you whether there is a way in which he can commit himself to create synergy in developing our creative industry in Meru. We will keep engaging you so that we see whether we can have other areas of cooperation. To our creatives here, I know a majority of you, not a majority, sorry, a number of you have not interacted with me on a one-on-one. Kindly create your own fora. Maybe you can create committees or associations depending on your area of specialization, so that you can be in a position to engage us in a formal way and see how we can help each other in actually developing this industry. The creative industry is an industry. It's an economic industry, which will, if well organized, can be a source of income and good income to us. I do not want to belabor this. Those that have been helping me in mobilizing you can still be your link to us, the government. So go through those that have been helping me in mobilizing you, and we'll be able to interact more. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. As we stand up to pray and finish, remember we're going for tea downstairs for a photo. Then we'll have tea downstairs. Feel free to interact with our team even while we take the photo and the tea, okay? We are still here. We are here for you. Come and talk to us. If you have any question you didn't get an opportunity to ask, please come and ask. Eh? Let's stand for a word of prayer. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we are grateful for today. What a beautiful, wonderful day we've had. with the creatives of Meru. Thank you for everything we have learned. Lord, I want to pray that you help us to put it into good use, the things that we have gathered here. But I want to specifically pray for our creatives in Meru, that Father, you'd bless them, bless the work of their hands, help them, King of Glory, to monetize their creative works, to be able to sustain themselves and to change Meru County. Want to pray that even as we break right now this meeting and then we go on to other things, would you give us journey mercies to where we are going? Would you bless us? Would you be with us? Would you protect us? We honor you and we worship you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's meet downstairs for the photo session. Kecobo staff, after the photo, we'll come back to have tea up here and then we can have a small meeting.
Letete kugambia kwa kaderi, letete kugambia kwa kaderi, ndira kinya, wirigene, ndira kinya, wirigene. Letete kugambia kwa kaderi, letete kugambia kwa kaderi, ndira kinya, wirigene, ndira kinya, wirigene. Ndakinyamwirigene ndarankoro, ndakinyamwirigene ndarankoro, ewedire. Letete kugambia kwa kaderi,